Wrestling Escape Pods on a Tuesday. It did overrun a little bit, and then for some reason I got up and thought that I needed to turn the TV on and actually change all that over. Turns out I didn't. Turns out I did not need to do that, and so that's why I was a little bit more delayed, because I thought that for some reason I thought that this was on TNT Sports, and of course it is not. It is on the network here in the UK. So yeah, but we're here now. Obviously we've got a few interesting bits to get our teeth into. I hope everyone is well, and let me go over to... Let's go over to the WWE Network and we can have a look at the preview. So we've got Hank and Tank. They're going to be taking on Gallows and Anderson in a #1 qualifying match. We got Riley Osborne challenging for the Heritage Cup. We don't know who he's going to face. Apparently, we've got no court or catch crew clause where it could be anyone that defends that cup, even though Charlie Dempsey is the champion. Tatum Paxley is going to look to get revenge on Lyra Valkyria for against Roxanne Perez. So she is looking to take on Roxanne. Obviously Roxanne has injured Lyra. That's Tatum's friend, so Tatum is looking for blood. So obviously this new version of Roxanne is very interesting, very engaging, very excited to see where that's going to lead. We got Nathan Frazier and Axium. They are also going to be taking on 2 members of No Quarter Catch Crew. So No Quarter Catch Crew have got a very busy evening this evening. So we'll have to see who it is that they'll be facing, who they're going to be going up against, and who they'll put forwards. Let's see if we can just get a few bits sorted. Lovely. Shout out to everyone that's jumping in the chat. So, and obviously we got Trick Williams. Apparently Trick Williams against Noam Dar is also coming up tonight. Trick Williams massively over. So many people into what they're doing with him right now. So really excited to see what we do next with Trick Williams. Obviously last week, the kiss between him and Lash Legend. Are we going to do a bit more with that? Will Lash be at ringside? A bit split, a bit uncertain as to where her loyalties lie. Could it be that we actually get Lash and Trick as like a partnership moving forward? So that should be interesting as well. So lots of little things to keep an eye on, lots of things to keep an eye out for, but should result in a fun evening. A Jobson, shout out to you. Nathan, shout out to you. We are live. We are ready to get our teeth into this week's NXT. And I gotta say, NXT not been killing it recently, so don't know quite what to expect. I think that there's a few stories which are interesting. I think the Thea Hale story, it's okay. I like Thea Hale, so I'm definitely into following that story and following that situation. But yeah, you know, it feels a little bit teen drama, doesn't it? But even so, that's all right. The Lash and Trick thing is interesting. Don't know if you saw, but NXT Anonymous earlier today put a little footage out of Von Wagner and Mr. Stone arguing. They were arguing because Mr. Stone said, look, I lost. That's fine, but I didn't need to be carried out like some sort of child. You embarrass me. And he was going off on Von Wagner. Von Wagner was like, I didn't mean for that to be how it came across. I didn't mean for it to be like to come across that way. And yeah, it was all kind of kicking off and everything. So he was not pleased, man. He was not happy about how he had been portrayed, and so he was very disappointed. So Mr. Stone falling out with Von Wagner. We'll have to see if anything comes of that. Damn, Trick Williams and Lash Legend, trash legend, said Alkemeltzer. Trash legend. So yeah, as we said, it's not been the greatest of kind of years for NXT. It feels like, if anything, they're maybe going through a bit of a rebuild. They're obviously bringing in new talent, and we've seen some talent that's kind of moved on to other things. So it feels like they're going through a bit of a rebuild at the moment. But there's still some decent stories around. There's obviously some big stars around, and we're building our way towards stand and deliver. So let's see if we can put on a good show this evening. Hello to Angie and Josh. Hope you are doing well. Shout out to you guys. We have managed to find the show, which is good. There we go. Lovely. Kieran said, I'm excited for Whoop That Trick and Lash Legend. Will they kiss again tonight? Oh, well, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Will there be some smooching going on tonight again? Yeah, I think, like, you know, the whole Lash Legend Trick thing is really interesting. I didn't even know they were dating, but apparently they are. They're in a relationship. They have been since the start of this year. And it is something which they are now potentially looking to bring to TV. It definitely provides a very interesting wrinkle. So we'll keep an eye out on that. Did you also see that Brooks Jensen issued an apology? And I feel really sorry for him, because he wore an Ole Anderson shirt, and to pay respects to Ole Anderson, who was a big name in wrestling history. I don't know if WWE put a graphic up for Ole Anderson. I can't remember, but he is a big name in wrestling history. And we spoke about Ole Anderson when he passed away, and people paid their respects and little tributes and whatever. And so Brooks Jensen wore a shirt for Ole Anderson, and someone got in touch saying, why are you wearing a shirt of one of the biggest known, like, racists? Which was news to me. I didn't know that he had made racist comments. I wasn't aware of that at all. And so there's this kind of, not backlash. Someone made that comment. Brooks Jensen issued an apology. He came out and I can't remember his exact words. Let's not paraphrase it. Let's actually find what was said. This is all in unseen. I feel sorry for him. I really do. I mean, he clearly is not, like, aligning with the views of a racist. So here, look, we've got this person saying, so Brooks Jensen, why do you think it's appropriate to wear a t-shirt of a massive racist in 2024? And Brooks has responded just an hour later, actually. Just an hour later. I don't know if he looked into it within that time. But he said, living, learning, and loving. Thanks, guys. So I kind of like that comment, because he's keeping it light. He's keeping it, you know, light. He said, I will never support any racism, hate, or bullying. Of course, I wouldn't expect anything else. While I respected Ole for his wrestling, it was news to me after wearing the shirt that he had been associated with these allegations. I've noticed my looks and where I'm from are frequently stigmatized with the underbelly of our society, i.e. racists. But this mullet just likes to give love and party. My apologies to anyone who knew the allegations prior and were offended by the shirt. I'm learning, and this was noted. So I would say a great response. The only thing I would say is, I don't think he needed this bit. I've noticed my looks and where I'm from are frequently stigmatized with the underbelly of... I feel like we're getting into some other things here. I feel like this stuff here, like he respected him, he didn't know about it. Like, all of that is absolutely fine. This stuff here's a bit strange. This middle section kind of comes out of nowhere. But I feel so sorry for him, because I saw him wear that. I didn't think anything of it. Didn't think a single thing about it. But I think he's answered it well. I think he could have kept it shorter. But I think he's answered it well. But, you know, we've been praising Brian Solomon, the guy that's writing the Gorilla Monsoon book. He's responded. He said, I would suggest not wearing the t-shirt of any white wrestler in the business before 1995. So he's joking when he makes that comment, but he's sort of saying, like, if you're going to dig into the history of people, you're going to find stuff that you don't like the look of. Like, so if that's the road that you want to go down, I would suggest don't wear any t-shirt of any wrestler born before 1995. So it's a very interesting situation. My primary thought is that I feel sorry for Brooks because he just wanted to show respect to a legend, a wrestling legend, and he's got like this person getting in touch with him going, why are you supporting a massive racist? But then, you know, if he did make comments, which I still don't know that he did, I'm guessing he did, but if he did make comments that have been offensive to people, then you could understand someone having issue with it as well. So I can see it from that other perspective. So he's issued his apology anyway. He's issued his apology. I thought he did a good job with it. Probably a bit long and a bit weird in the middle, but other than that, he's issued his apology. But it shows, doesn't it, the pitfalls, the minefield that is social media, or just even paying respect to a legend, you know? Even just paying respect to someone. It's like that, innit? You know, everyone's got things they regret, comments they regret, skeletons in the closet. I mean, not me, I'm perfect. But, you know, it's one of those whereby, is anyone perfect? Or joking, is anyone perfect? So I feel for him, man. I do feel for him. Lash legend will turn on Noam Dar. It's going to be very predictable after what we saw last week, said Dro. Dysfunction said, is Ilja Tony a match you're interested in at Stand and Deliver? Yeah, sure. For some reason, I don't believe it's main event caliber like Trick Mello. Well, it doesn't feel as big as Trick Mello because they've been together for so long that them splitting up feels huge, right? So it doesn't feel the same caliber as Trick Mello because there's a lot of background to that, but it is for the NXT Championship. It's just that Trick is the biggest star they've got at the moment, and Trick Mello gang was like, you know, they were together for years. So it probably is being overshadowed by that match, but that's why now we need to spend these next few weeks to build it up and make it feel bigger, because it's a match that's come out of nowhere. Tony has just turned his attention to the title. He's won a number one contenders match. He's beaten Carmelo. Now he goes on to face Ilja for that championship. So yeah, it's one of those where it's just come out of nowhere. It's come out of nowhere, and so it doesn't feel like it's got much of a build because it hasn't got much of a build. So I don't mind the match. I think that it's a different match. I think it's a big stage for Tony. I think Tony's been in NXT a long time and he deserves that stage. And I think that it'll be very interesting to see how it plays out, to be honest. It's I'm a lot more into that than doing Ilja Carmelo again. Let's put it that way. Ilja against Carmelo has been done. So I'd much rather go a different direction. I'm excited for Tatum against Roxanne tonight, said Alex Bliss Gamer. Should be good. I like Tatum. Yeah, I like Tatum. But the only one that's perfect is the good Lord, says K-pop lover. That's true. That's true. Dro agreeing as well. I mean, it's one of them, innit? I mean, just to put a bow on that conversation, I can see both sides. I'm not saying that. I do wonder sometimes if some people just say stuff just to cause trouble. Because we know there's people out there that just, you know, are keyboard warriors and they just like to troll and upset and cause trouble. But if it's someone that was genuinely affected by that and genuinely couldn't believe that Ole was being celebrated after comments he'd made, fair enough. I think that Brooks has done the right thing by apologizing, but just making it very clear he didn't know, because I didn't know. I didn't know that he'd made comments like that. I don't think many people did, to be honest, because I didn't encounter that reaction. I didn't have people like on the stream saying that he was a big racist or people getting in touch with me about it. So I don't know. It is an interesting one. It is a very interesting one. As I said, I think he's handled it very mature, and it does just make you think, like, you know, about some of these legends that you maybe just don't know much about, like you know about their in-ring accomplishments and what they achieved in-ring, but you don't know about them as people. it makes, you know, it maybe does make you think twice about, like, should I be supporting these people? It kind of brings me back to what I said about Hogan and the conversation we had about that as well. The dark side of wrestling, eh? I think Ole hated everyone equally, said Frank. Ole was friends with Thunderbolt Patterson, said Frank. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know the right and the wrong on that one. I just thought I would bring it to your attention that this is something that had happened. And in regards to Tatum and Roxanne, yes, I'm loving Roxanne at the moment. I think that Tatum as well. Her match that she had, that tag match with the Kabuki Warriors, had some nice moments in it. So I am looking forward to seeing kind of where we can get to with Tatum. We've tried a few things with her. And so, do you remember when she was in that tag team? Was it with Ivy Nile? It was her and Ivy Nile. You know, that felt like it might have got somewhere, but it didn't. And now she's doing this whole being infatuated with Lyra, which I don't think we've ever got to the bottom as to why. She wasn't infatuated with her before, and now all of a sudden she's infatuated with her. It might be interesting to do like a bit of an interview to see if we can figure out where it started, how it started, what's going on. That might be kind of good. But yeah, we haven't had any of that, unfortunately. But either way, she's, shall we say, quirky. And she is going to be taking on Roxanne Perez tonight. Daze, everyone in the chat, Paul, shout out to you. Right, so we are, how long have we got? We've got just under half an hour to go. There hasn't been tons of news today. I've got a few bits lined up for, just fun bits actually lined up for Unseen. I don't know if you saw the Man City thing. That was kind of interesting with John Cena. That's going to be an Unseen later. John Cena helping to announce that Man City are going to be going to America in their preseason tour. So they managed to get John Cena kind of dressing up as Erling Haaland, which is a lot of fun. So that's done the rounds today. Obviously, reaction to the Bray Wyatt thing as well. That's done the rounds. Lots of things have been kind of circulating, but nothing massive. Nothing huge, just little bits and bobs. I think we did pretty well to get everything into the Unseen video last night. It was a long Unseen, and I didn't think we would get it all done in an hour. I really didn't, but we managed to get everything in there. I was so pleased. I really thought it was going to be the first Unseen that would go over an hour. So when we got to the end, and I could feel that it was going to get in at like 50-odd minutes, I was chuffed. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff that was in there. Don't think tonight's will be as rammed, but we haven't had NXT yet. But that's good. We're definitely due a shorter episode. But yeah, big thank you to everyone that's been watching and enjoying those. We did a good 15 minutes on Bray on the last one. And, you know, if some of those maybe more funny moments that people have maybe missed or whatever, I've been trying to pull some of them out as separate videos as well. So we'll keep uploading one of those each day also. Obviously, it was last week when we had the low blows in the Lady Gardens. It should mean that this week, Ariana Grace is going to turn Gigi Dolan into a woman. So she's going to unleash her inner beauty. So we've got that to look forward to tonight, as well as this, you know, there are some fun little things going on. That moment where they both low blowed each other, and we had Ariana Grace like pulling that funny face last week. That was a lot of fun. So we'll have to see if we get some more development on that. What's Gigi gonna look like after her inner beauty has been brought out? Undercover Manager, shout out to you, said, Daze, if a UK federation started on, say, a Wednesday or a Thursday, would you be willing to get involved as a commentator or an announcer? Use your current platform to promote it. Paid, obviously, said Undercover Manager. I really don't know, to be honest. I would want to know a bit more about it. I'd want to know I mean, I would. The door would not be closed. My priority is obviously this, but I don't know. You know, might be a fun way to just kind of meet people in person as well. I think that is the one side of this that I definitely would like to try and find a way of one day expanding a bit more, you know. I know that Wrestle Talk do like their live streams for the big shows in pubs, and I must admit I have looked at that and thought, well, that's a good idea, isn't it? That's a good idea to actually do like the Rumble streams and all of that in pubs. The only problem that I have, really, I suppose, or one of the problems I have, is that there's only really me that talks on the channel. So that means that like I'll be doing the live stream with people in a pub in the background, but no one's taking over from me, if you know what I mean. Like, it's just me talking. So when would I get a chance to like interact with people? I suppose I could interact before the stream starts, but we always start hours and hours and hours before, you know. And I suppose you could say afterwards, but by the time it ends, it's pretty late. People are going to want to be going home, you know. So they don't want to be sticking around because, oh, what, now you're free. So I have kind of given that some thought. I thought, I don't know how I'd make that work, to be honest. I don't really know how I'd make that work. But I think the like trying to juggle the channel with like still interacting with real people and not just like completely closing yourself off from the real world probably would be a healthy thing to find a bit of a better balance for. So that would definitely not be a door that I would have closed. I think that we could probably juggle it. But, you know, I'd want to know as to what it was that we were doing. I'd want to know, you know, would I enjoy it? Would it be fun? You know, I'm quite happy with my life at the moment, so it would have to be something that I know that I would enjoy. It'd have to be something that I would know that I would, you know, get something from, you know. But if it was, then yeah, I'd be open to it. Mitchell, shout out to you, my friends. Appreciate the support. Hope you are well. Mitchell said, what are the thoughts about this whole PG talk that's going on now with Rock and Cody being able to break it and ignore network rules? Are other wrestlers in the right for being mad that they don't get to do the same? I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't think swearing makes promos better. For me, like, there was a lot of praise for Cody's promo, and I think the praise was because he was, I think the bit of swearing was like, this is what I want, a bit of an edge from him. But I just think it's not very creative. It doesn't impress me. Swearing doesn't impress me. I'm not impressed if you swear. Everyone swears. You could make the argument it feels a bit more realistic, but I actually think some of the best put downs are the ones that don't. In fact, I would go as far as to say pretty much every good put down doesn't involve swearing. I kind of feel like, you know, the little who's that guy type moments, you know, those kind of clever dismissals, or just I just don't think it's clever. So I don't see the benefit of it. It's not something that I'm looking to go into. I think that swearing is something that does alienate people, because you've got a lot of kids. There's a lot of parents that don't want their kids to be exposed to that. And it's something that we've kept off the channel, right? We've tried to keep off the channel as much as we possibly can. And it's really difficult now because, honestly, it's everywhere. When we're doing unseen videos, you know, like Dustin Rhodes saying F The Rock, and promos online from The Rock where he's swearing himself. And, you know, there's comments written in text from wrestlers like Dijak where he uses, like, swear words and all of this. I mean, it is a big conversation at the moment. There clearly has been a bit of loosening, if you will. Like, it doesn't feel like there's people being fined for it. Even online with Dijak kind of using that sort of language, you know. And I know what the argument will be. The argument will be, well, we swear in real life. It just reflects real life. But my counter argument would be, well, we haven't been doing it in WWE really for 15 years or so. Like, the PG era has been in for a good while now. We haven't been doing it for a long time. It's never been a barrier before this point, you know? So, for me, I just don't see why we need to go down that road. I would hate for all promos to just be full of swearing going forwards. I wouldn't do it for that. Wouldn't do it for me. I really wouldn't. That's not what I tune into WWE for. So, I think The Rock doing it has set a bit of a bad example, to be honest. I think that it's I don't mind him coming in with the odd line. I think if all he had said is F your story and that was it, that would have had a lot more impact as well. If that was the only swear word he had used. If he had just said, Cody, listen, F your story, right? That would have had a lot of impact, but it's lost because there's a load of other swear words that are in there as well. And so now it's resulted in people wanting Cody to swear so that he's as aggressive. And so now Cody's come out with a couple of swear words. And I don't know, is this the path we're going down? It's weird because, like, as I'm talking, it's like, is it a big issue? Oh, not really. It's not a big issue. There's definitely things about WWE I hate a hell of a lot more than the bad language that's coming in. So it's not a big issue, but it's definitely a road that I'm not looking to go down. It's a road that I don't feel I need to go down. I don't think there's anything creative about swearing. I think that swearing is something which actually can get in the way of creativity. Sometimes it's low-hanging fruit swearing. So if you go for a cuss word, a swear words, I don't find that as creative as something else you could have come up with that would be a lot more creative, which I think would be a better put down as well. So that's just my opinion. Not a road I would go down, but I know there's a lot of people that want it to feel as real as possible, and for them swearing would be a part of that, but not for me. We've done wrestling for a long time without swearing, and it's been absolutely fine. It's been in great health. It's got us to this point. I mean, like, we just did the whole Bloodline story that everyone was calling cinema, and I didn't see anyone calling for swearing during that. So, not for me. But to each their own, you know? To each their own. The prime bottle on the floor is worse. I agree. I can list a good few things in WWE that I hate a hell of a lot more than swearing. A hell of a lot more. And the prime bottle, if that turns out to be true, and it looks like it could be, I did make the comment, and I keep making it because I do think there's a chance that it's not true. There is a couple of videos that Logan has done where he explains their marketing tactics for Prime. There's one where they said to their audience, when we go to Italy, we want you to throw empty Prime bottles at us. We want you to be mad at us. We want you to be angry at us. And we want you to boo and throw bottles at us. During the press conference, they told the fans that. And then when they did the press conference, the fans did it. And it went all over the news. The people hate KSI and Logan Paul. Italy, were booing them and were throwing bottles at them, and they weren't welcome. And it was just such a clever way of a fake. The news outlets didn't know it was fake. That it had been planned by KSI and Logan, but it was such a clever way of getting onto the news. You know, KSI and Logan arrive and people cheer their name and celebrate. News might look at it and be like, yeah, I'm not interested. It becomes a lot more newsworthy if the fans seem to be throwing bottles at them and turning on them. That becomes a lot more newsworthy, and that is a tactic that they used to promote Prime. Another tactic they did to promote Prime, which again is kind of a similar ilk, was they posed where Logan was standing drinking a bottle of Prime and KSI was drinking his like this, and they noticed when they took the picture that it sort of looked like a bit of a penis, right? The way he was drinking sort of looked like it was a bit of penis. So what they did is they moved KSI's image down about in line with Logan's, where Logan's penis would be. So you had Logan drinking his drink, and then you had KSI kind of drinking his, sort of in line with where Logan's penis was. And they reposted it out with like laughing face emojis. Went all over the internet. Logan was like, this simple ad that we did for Prime was going to get like 10 million views. As soon as we made this slight change, it got another 10 million views. Then I had a standee made of it, which I unveiled to KSI. That got another 10 million views. Then they did such and such, which resulted in another 10 million views. And so they've got this way of advertising, which is about how can we get and generate as many clicks, as many views, as many likes, like how can we generate as much or cause as much disruption as possible? And I saw that with the standee thing that they did. I saw it with what they did in Italy with the fans throwing bottles at them. And I'm looking at this now, and I know that there is a very good chance that this is real. There is a very good chance that the Prime bottle in the ring is real, right? Let's make that a headline, right? I haven't lost my senses. I'm not delusional, right? I've not lost my mind. There is a good chance this is real, but there is a chance it is not. There is a chance, because it's a great way of upsetting the wrestling fans. And how many mentions do you think Prime got after that? Just that one moment. That one moment when it was unveiled. How many times do you reckon the word Prime was mentioned on social media? Right? There was memes that were being shared. People were putting Prime in the middle of the ring of old wrestling footage. That was being shared around. We spoke about it on Unseen and showed them off in Unseen. Prime got so much exposure, so many mentions, just from even the announcement that it was going to be in the ring, that I start to wonder, is that the real advert? Is that the real advert? All the mentions that came from just the tease that it could be in the ring. WWE getting in on it as well by putting out a press release. WWE easily can put out a press release saying this is happening and it's not really happening, right? So I think there's a good chance that it is happening. But honestly, if we get to WrestleMania and it turns out Logan like is laughing, thinking like, you know, if we get to WrestleMania and Logan's laughing, saying you really thought that we were going to do that, that wouldn't massively shock me. I'd be relieved. I'd be really relieved. But it wouldn't massively shock me, because we know why he would have done it. Because Prime has had so many mentions, and it doesn't matter that it's bad mentions. It doesn't matter that it's people going, this looks trash. This is garbage. I hate this. That doesn't matter. It's as long as you are being spoken about. That's all they care about. They asked their fans to throw bottles at them. They asked their fans to make it seem like they were hated so that they could get on the news in Italy. It didn't matter that it didn't look good for them. They were getting on the news. Exposure is exposure. So having looked at those couple of things they've done before and the way that they really think outside the box with marketing, it did just make me think, is there a chance? And I think there is. I think there is a chance. But I've not lost my mind. I'm not delusional. I am basing it on something. I have watched some videos and seen what they've done elsewhere to kind of generate attention. And this definitely generated attention. So we'll have to see at WrestleMania if it really is going that way. Again, headline. I think it is, right? I think it is. But I also think there's a chance that it's a ruse. I also think it's a chance it's a way of just generating conversation. So, but I completely agree. If it is going that way, then that would definitely bother me a lot more than the bad language. That would definitely bother me than the swearing. So we'll have to wait and see. So Mitchell, good question. Definitely one that people are going to have opinions on. Mitchell said, if we get to WrestleMania and Logan doesn't show up with a huge boner, I'll be mad after this convo. Brony said, I would put the title on Roxanne and explore this heel character of hers. Lyra's title reign has been underwhelming. Do you agree? Don't know, to be honest. I mean, she has her match where she faces Roxanne and Lola comes down is the second. It's technically the third, but I class it as the second highest rated match of the year. So I've got to say they knocked that out the park. I would say that she... Do we know who she's facing at Stand and Deliver at the moment? It's probably Roxanne, isn't it, again? It's probably going to be Roxanne. So I think you could say it's underwhelming mainly because she's not massively feuded with anyone other than Roxanne, but she hasn't really been in a feud with Roxanne. Really, what we've been doing with Lyra is trying to build up Tatum. That's what we've been doing. That's the main focus. But really, your title reigns, they're judged. And don't forget, she was meant to defend against Shotzi, and then Shotzi got injured. So, I mean, there was going to be like a Shotzi title defense in there, but Shotzi got injured. So then we had to do Lash Legend last minute. Like, literally was not planned. So, is it underwhelming? Yeah. But I would say it's not her fault. It's not her fault. I think that creative-wise, we just haven't really booked her in like some red-hot feuds. Instead, she has been doing a lot of stuff with Tatum. So I don't know. I think that I don't feel like because this title reign has really not had loads of red-hot feuds, I feel like she probably still needs to do some. I feel like she still hasn't quite experienced fully what it is to be champion. So I would rather that we actually do some stronger creative for Lyra, get her into some feuds, and then we can always do Roxanne. I really don't think Roxanne needs the belt, if I'm going to be honest, because I think she is doing brilliant at the moment. Brilliant in this heel role. She's been champion before. I think she doesn't need the belt to keep exploring what it is to be a heel. So I think I would just keep exploring heel Roxanne. Keep putting her in different feuds. Keep having her cut heel promos. Keep exploring different, facets of the character and what it is to be a heel. And then for Lyra, she needs to get into some red hot feuds and defend the title. She hasn't really done that yet. So I would continue doing that. So no, I wouldn't pull the trigger and make the change, because I think both still need to explore what they're doing. And I don't know that a title change is going to be beneficial for that. Roxanne is doing brilliant. I mean, if you want to base it on how engaging she is as a character, then you could make an argument for her getting the title. But actually looking at it more as a developmental, looking at it more as like, well, Lyra's learning, Roxanne's learning, I think I'd just keep things going a little bit as they are for now. Who knows after WrestleMania if, they might just call up Lyra. They might think she's good enough. They might think she's done enough. We know that they don't worry about calling up women that aren't ready, or even guys that aren't quite ready. Liv Morgan, when she came up, I felt came up way too soon. Maxine Dupree, I mean, that's a whole separate conversation. But they will, call up people that haven't really done loads in NXT. Lacey Evans never did loads in NXT. She got called up real quick and struggled, to be honest. And they didn't quite know what character to use her for. And I think what they used her for at first was all right, but it didn't really catch on. They tried to change it. They couldn't find anything that worked. I think with Lyra, you've got someone that's sort of there or thereabouts, but to be honest, I think give her some red hot feuds, give her some red hot segments, put her into some live promo battles in the ring, and I don't know, let's target after SummerSlam for calling her up, and maybe let's have Roxanne win the title around that time, and then she can have a run as a heel champion, and then maybe we look early next year for calling Roxanne up. Because there's no great rush with Roxanne. She's still so young. So young. That it's not like, oh my God, we've got to get Roxanne to the main roster. So, and certainly if you consider she's turned heel relatively recently. So I would just delay it a little bit. Personally, I'd delay it. But let's see. WWE might be thinking something different. Christopher said, here's how to get rid of the Logan thing. Have Randy pour paint over the Prime bottle after their match at Mania. That will discontinue the idea. Don't know, to be honest, because each ring is different, isn't it? So what they tend to do is cut up the ring canvas and put them in little cards. So that means that there'll be another ring canvas that gets made the next night. So you can put paint on it, but the next night there'll be a brand new one that's got another Prime bottle printed on it. And after that, on SmackDown, a new one that's got a Prime bottle. So, you know, I think actually, which is pretty mental, I heard that Vince always used to like several canvases actually stacked on top of each other, so that after each match, if there was any blood or anything that was discoloring the canvas, you could just take that top layer off and it shouldn't have soaked through and gone to the layer underneath. So you've got a clean canvas again. Do you know what? For all of Vince's faults, one thing that he never budged on was the canvas and how the canvas was not clean. He always wanted a clean canvas. And that's one thing that he never budged on. He would sell his mother to make money, but he could have been having advertising in the ring years ago. I mean, WCW had advertising in the ring. It's not a new idea. It's not something that's not been considered before. It's just something that Vince had a very hard rule on, that he wasn't interested. You know, he'll sell advertising on, he'll slap it on his own forehead if you want, but for some reason the ring was a no-go for him. He really drew the line there. Crazy, isn't it? Crazy. But listen, things change and I hate it. I really hate it. But I know that we've had a few conversations about it, and there's youngsters and other people that are not as bothered by it. And there's people that are like, it's fine, not bothered. So there is, like most things in wrestling, a varied opinion on it. So, it is what it is. We'll have to see if we can get used to it. I've said before, I really think part of the issue is how ugly it looks, the bottle with the blue and the red and all that stuff. Like, if it was just the word Prime in black, I think that would be so much more palatable. I think that would be so much easier to accept, rather than this bottle of red and blue and cherry pop freeze or whatever it's called. I don't know. It just looks trash, man. It just looks trash. But listen, they do it in UFC. They do it in other sports. So perhaps it's something that we just have to accept is going to happen. People would flip out if they made the ring posts look like Prime bottles. I really don't know. I really don't know. I thought people would flip out over this, and I was really shocked to see that not everyone did. I really thought this was a complete no-go. I really thought this was, you can't do that, sacrilege. I really thought that was I didn't think there was many lines that you couldn't cross in wrestling, but I really thought that putting a Prime bottle slap in the middle of the ring would be one that we would all unite against. We want Cody was pretty loud and clear, and I really thought that people would rise up against the Prime bottle. But I gotta say, I mean, it's been relatively well received in the sense of people don't like it, but we've not been seeing big noisy rebellions against it. We haven't been seeing hashtag boycott Prime, have we? We haven't been seeing very loud messages, stay off my ring, Logan type calls. So I don't know, it's a bit scary as to what it is they could get away with if they did make the ring posts Prime bottles. I really think, I'm just going to be honest, I really think a lot of people would be like, oh yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Honestly, I'm shocked that people have accepted this. But it's a different generation as well, isn't it? We talk about this a lot, how, like, for me, I've been watching wrestling since the early 90s. So the idea of something in the middle of the ring, for me, is horrifying. But for people that have only been watching for a year or so, they don't have that connection. If you've been watching for a short time, if you're a kid or new to wrestling, for you, you're like, yeah, why not? They do it in boxing, they do it in UFC. You're coming at it from a completely different perspective to me. I've been watching it for like nearly 30 years, so which is hard considering I'm only 21. But, you know, for me to be watching for that long and for it to be a case that I just can't fathom it, you know? It's crazy to see that like other people just do not share that same opinion. But again, as we keep saying, and we have to keep saying, everyone has opinions. Yeah, everyone's got their own opinions. Everyone's got their own takes. And everyone is entitled to their own opinions and their own takes. So I will happily share mine. But don't shout at me if they're different to yours. Right, we have got the NXT show should be starting soon. Let's turn it up. I've got no sound whatsoever here, which is a bit concerning. See if I can get to the thing. I do find, actually, since NXT moved onto the network, it's really rubbish for lag. Really rubbish. It used to be so much better on TNT Sport. I'm a little bit concerned about when everything goes to Netflix, if it might do that. But I think Netflix is all right. I just think the network's not as strong. It's not as good. Right. Should be going over to the show. Boom. Raw last night went to 1.6 2 weeks before WrestleMania. We've been saying for months that boring the audience by providing wrestling, in-ring promos, and backstage interviews. Hang on. Raw went back into 1.6 2 weeks before WrestleMania. We've been saying for months you're boring the audience by just providing wrestling, in-ring promos, backstage interviews. What would you do then? If you can't do wrestling, backstage promos, or interviews, what are we doing? Juggling. Right, here's Trick. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. Trick Willie is making his way down to the ring. It's been a long time, says Joe. My early childhood memory is watching wrestling with my dad, says Elka Meltzer. Listen, things change. Ah. It's not Trick. It's Roxanne. Right. Roxanne against Tatum. The first title run is always not the best, said Michael, except Hogan, Daniels, or Kingston. It's Roxanne, Lyra. What do you mean, Trick? Yeah, Trick was walking out. I refreshed it, and then Lyra was on my screen, so I don't know what that was. I was watching live. Last week's NXT ended, and then a show started where Trick was walking out, but I think it had looped last week, so I really don't know. I refreshed it anyway, and I've got Tatum and Roxanne now. So we are underway with this first match. Nice drop kick there by Tatum. I expect, obviously, Roxanne to pick up the victory here. Trick Williams against Noam Dar coming up tonight. Paxley gets planted down by Roxanne. Roxanne, slightly different hair. She's got a bit of blue in her hair. She's got it in like a ponytail. Looks a bit braided as well. Roxanne hurling Tatum into the corner. There's an uppercut there. Look how focused she is. Lovely. Next sweep, going for the cover, and Tatum kicks out. Tatum kicks out. Roxanne jumping down on the arm of Tatum. And again, she's got her boot on the side of Tatum's face, and she jumps down on that arm again. Roxanne very much in control right now. Big shot coming to the back there of Tatum, pulling back on the arm. That's lovely. Now she stands on the back, pulls back on the arm, and Tatum is on her knees. Roxanne comes over, going for the cover. Kick out there by Tatum. Roxanne, again, working the arm. Where there's non-wrestling segments and OMG moments, the show plummeted to 1.6 3 weeks in a row, this close to Mania. Oh, there was loads of non-wrestling segments. Cody's promo was a non-wrestling segment. Drew and Seth was a non-wrestling segment. Jay and Jimmy was a non-wrestling segment. So Sammy's contract signing with Gunther, there was loads of non-wrestling segments. This was not a week that was match. They definitely mixed it up this week, and actually there was quite a bit of positivity for the show. The show rating came out as being, people seem to really enjoy it. I think I scored it like a 7.25, around that kind of range. But there was a lot of praise for DIY against Creeds. I wasn't as crazy about it because I thought it was clunky in places, but the end of it was good. People seem to enjoy Becky and Nia as well. Cody did his promo. I mean, I would say the 1.6 is not necessarily reflective of the show quality. It's more reflective of how much people were interested in tuning in. So, you know, you make the argument that Cody isn't bringing the eyes like The Rock is bringing eyes, or Roman is bringing eyes, which, you know, maybe that's a concern. But this week there was a lot of non-wrestling segments. Crossface being applied by Roxanne, and it is a win for Roxanne. So Roxanne picking up the victory. Fun little short match that. Not the longest thing. It didn't need to be. It's been 1 week. And I'm not waiting any longer. Give me the title, says Roxanne. Give me the title. I never lost. Lyra's coming out. Lyra's got her arm in a sling. So Lyra and Roxanne are going at it. Oh, it's probably not a great look that Tatum grabbed Lyra for a second. That's now allowing Roxanne to get the advantage. Now she's grabbing the arm. Roxanne is working on the arm. Crossface is applied. That was all Tatum's fault, you know. Lyra was doing all right. It looked a bit strange, her getting the advantage with just one arm. But and it always sucks Velcro, doesn't it? Holding up a Velcro belt. Right, we're backstage with Metaphor. Lash is still reliving what happened. That kiss last week. Here's Alpha Academy with Maxine. I'm quite jelly of Trick Willie, says Otis. Well, there we go. Otis is jelly of Trick Willie. Here's Oba Femi as well, backstage. Oba Femi next. Right, we've got the poll up. You can vote away on that first match. Did Roxanne turn heel? Yeah, she's been slowly turning, if you will, over a while, but she is heel now. Michael said it should have a vulva on the apron, and then you can stick one guy in with a power driver 9. Michael, shout out to you. We are trying to not present ourselves as perverts. So a battle that we've been fighting since yesterday's stream. So please, no more talks of vulvas. Thank you. Ribby said, how is that Otis has been paired up with Mandy Rose and now Maxine? What a guy. Five Dog said, I was big on Lash, but she's improved dramatically since joining Metaphor. I am your father said this probably means Tatum will turn on Lyra at Stand and Deliver. Tom said, I really feel like Oba Femi has got everything. He looks like a monster. He can wrestle. If he got with a manager, he would be the full package. A manager would be good for Oba Femi, actually. That's a good shout. I mean, he is just like this runaway train, really. It would be good if he had a bit of someone that could control him, focus him, and maybe do the deals for him, you know. I wouldn't put Robert Stone with him. I'm not a Robert Stone fan, you know. I've come to realise that recently. I'm not feeling Mr. Stone. He's someone that doesn't really do it for me. So that's not the person I would put with him. I don't know that we've got anyone down in NXT. We don't really have managers in NXT. I always enjoyed Zelina as a manager. I thought her managing Andrade was excellent. I wonder if she was to have Oba Femi, a monster like Oba Femi with Zelina as manager. That could be interesting. Jim said Lash is great in the ring now and moving towards being a main eventer. Ava posted on X, a little girl stirring the pot, says Peter. Brony said, how about MVP with Oba Femi? What would you think about that? Well, that would be better, I think, than not having anybody. The only thing with MVP is that, you know, he hasn't really been managing anyone of note. There's not really a pedigree there. I mean, he was sort of Bobby's manager for a time, and that was okay. But then he was also Omos's manager, and that was, I think he still is, and that hasn't been very good, has it? So I kind of feel like MVP can do some talking. He's someone that you'll always listen to, and he's a good talker. He's not a Heyman level talker, but he can do some talking. But yeah, I would give it a go. I think I'd be more excited for Zelina. She's better to look at. Does Oba need a manager, though? He can speak, said I'm your father. I don't know that it's not that he can't speak or anything like that. I just think that there's something in the presentation. It's a bit like, you know, Brock can speak, but having him kind of standing there looking like a monster while someone does the talking for him, it's kind of like he doesn't need to worry about talking. He doesn't need to talk. He can talk. He doesn't need to talk because someone will do it for him. There's someone that can deal with all of that side of the business for him. And in all fairness, I don't know that, you know, if you've got a manager, you really do want someone that's going to have the ability to talk, like ideally a Jim Cornette or a Paul Heyman. You know, you want someone that can really talk. I don't know that Zelina is that level, of course, but she brings other things that they can't bring. She's got that kind of Selena De La Renta sort of vibe about her. She brings credibility. But, I don't know, him being a monster just on his own, I kind of feel like you can do some fun stuff where you can have, like, the manager trying to hold him back, kind of this guy that's ready to go kill it, just say the word type thing, you know? It makes, like, Zelina or whoever's managing quite powerful because they can unleash this monster whenever they want. And it can lead to some good stories, so it's not always just about the promos, but it's a good point. Okay, Ava says, you and Roxanne stand and deliver. You want it, you've got it. So, Ava makes the match. Here is Briggs. Josh Briggs has got into the ring. That kid's there again, the ginger kid that's always in the crowd. He loves it, doesn't he? He's the new Izzy. Oba come out here. So Briggs Jensen calls out Oba Femi. I'm surprised you didn't enjoy my title defense, says Oba Femi. I relish the idea of pushing a man to the edge. When I step through the ropes, it's no place for emotion. My results speak volumes. Oba Femi getting into the ring. You walk around with so much confidence. Just looking at the shirts, there's a dude that's got an Oba Femi shirt on, Roxanne Perez. They're both really tall, aren't they? I thought Oba was bigger than this, you know. I think Josh might even outsize him. Oh, it's going to be meat, that, isn't it? It's going to be meat. We got a meat match. Oba Femi against Josh Briggs. Josh, don't say I didn't warn you. Dijak, let's go, man. I love this guy. This guy is owning social media. He is owning social media. He feels like such a big star. Dijak making his way down to the ring. Come on, let's go, Dijak. I'm a Dijak stan. Can you get a Dijak merch? I want a Dijak shirt. I might use Daze 15. Takes his shades off. His antics online have made me totally fall in love with him. Oba Femi. No merch. The flip. I told you, when you're done playing around, I'll be the man that's waiting. Here I am. Did you just call me wannabe Shaft? Bro, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm white. Oh, what a line. Bro, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm white. Even Josh just had to smile in that moment then. Even Josh had to be like, oh, damn, he got me. I got real life ratioed. I got real life ratioed. Oh, man, great line. Great line. Great moment. Dijak is the best. Dijak is the best. Right now, they're going at it. Oh, so good. So good. Okay, we're backstage with Shawn Spears. The triple threat sounds like a banger. Right, we got Axium making Axium and Nathan Frasier making their way down. This is great. NXT on fire so far. Really good open. Roxanne and Tatum was a fun match. Didn't outstay its welcome. Did what it needed to do and got out of there. Love it. Then it led to Lyra coming back. Match being made for Stand and Deliver. Then we just got a brilliant segment there with Dijak, the cherry on top, man. But Cynthia, shout out to you, my friends. Really appreciate the support. Cynthia said, Daze, I've heard rumors. Oh, here we go. That if Cody doesn't win at WrestleMania, he will turn heel and be more like a Homelander heel. Cody kind of does remind me of a Homelander with his ring gear and hair. What do you think? I'm not buying it. Cody is like got the crowd behind him at the moment. Everyone wants him to finish the story. If he isn't going to finish the story at WrestleMania, he's going to finish the story. And I have to think it's going to be some point soon. So if it's not to be at WrestleMania, then I'd look at SummerSlam. I don't think it'll be at next year's because it feels like Roman Rock is lined up for next year. But so if Cody doesn't finish the story at WrestleMania, SummerSlam is where I would look. I don't see why you would just abandon him being a face and just all of a sudden make him a heel. So I would ask the counter question, where did you see that rumor? Has it come from a reliable source? Has it come from a Sean Ross Sapp? Has it come from a PW insider? Has it come from somewhere of substance? Or is it just fan theory? Some Roman fan that's desperate for Roman to retain, who is trying to throw out an alternative reality of what might happen. How about if Cody doesn't win and then turns heel? He might do that, mightn't he? You know, in my mind, that's probably what's happened there. It's hard for me to picture Cody not finishing the story at 40 because it just feels like it's so going to happen. But, you know, if it wasn't to happen, I'd be a lot more inclined with thinking that it's going to be SummerSlam. And I just don't know why you would want to completely abandon this face and all this goodwill. You just had that massive We Want Cody movement, that massive We Want Cody moment. Like, why throw that away? Why abandon that just because he loses at WrestleMania? Like, that's it. We're just going to throw it away. And the Homelander thing, it doesn't work for me. I mean, I know a lot of people do watch that stuff, but I haven't got a clue who that is. Not everyone watches. I'm guessing Marvel. I'm going to say Marvel. I really don't know. So, I don't know. It sounds a bit of fantasy booking to me, but sounds like a Roman fan trying to come up with an alternative post-WrestleMania reality to the one that I think we're actually going to get. But I appreciate you bringing it to our attention. It's always fun to explore and chuck around some of the thoughts and the theories that are out there. Certainly not impossible. But I would be shocked if we were to turn him heel. He's the biggest babyface we've got. He's going to 5-year-olds' birthday parties. He's off to 5-year-old birthday parties. He's the best man at a wedding. Right, we are just seeing Trick Williams last week. Cynthia said it was a fan. It was a Roman crybaby. Ah, there you go, Cynthia. There we go. Now we're getting to the truth. Now we're digging down to the truth. There we go. It was a Roman crybaby, but it was one of them Roman crybabies. He's gonna stay champ and he's gonna beat Hogan's records. No, he's not. He's losing. Get used to it. Get with the program. Cynthia, shout out to you. Nothing but love, Cynthia. Nothing but love. Ken Gacy align with Bo if Bo returns. Sure, but I mean, I've said before, I think if Bo was to return, I would bring him back as Bo. I wouldn't bring him back as Howdy. I feel like Howdy was Bray's creation, and I just think that for me it wasn't working as well. It might upset people saying this, because I think saying anything negative about Bray's creative doesn't go down well. But I just don't think it was working. I don't think there was a lot of love for the Uncle Howdy character. It was someone that we were hoping to learn more about. We were trying to flesh him out. We were trying to understand the character, but we hadn't got there. We hadn't got to the point where like Uncle Howdy was this amazing character that everyone lost their minds at when he was coming out. For me, that Uncle Howdy character needed a lot of work. A lot of work. And I'm not saying we wouldn't have got it. I'm sure we could have got there eventually. But I think that I would leave that now. And what I would do is I would have Bo cut a very honest and emotional promo saying that his goal is to achieve such and such for his brother. He wants to achieve such and such. And people would get behind him. I think a very real thing has happened to Bo and the Wyatts, and you know, we all know about it, and his brother passing away. So for him to come back in a mask and be Howdy and all that, you could do it, but I don't know. For me, it wouldn't feel the same. It's not that it wouldn't feel right. Bo has got every right to continue the Uncle Howdy story. I don't have a problem with that. It's not a Dreadmare situation, right? He's got every right to carry on the story, because he was portraying that character before. But I don't know. I think for me, personally, I would prefer it if he came back as Bo and we had an emotional connection with him, you know, and that we kind of blurred the lines. We're seeing a lot of blurring of lines at the moment, and I think I would do that here as well. No Court Catch Crew against Axium and Nathan Frasier. I am all for Freebird's rule. 3 guys holding tag titles, but 4 guys holding 1 title, said Joe. It's a bit strange. Dragon Lee against Omos, WrestleMania 41. Oba Femi against Omos, said Flint the Squishy Fish. Tom said the Uncle Howdy character did sort of lose credibility with its Rumble botch. I also think the big smiley face on the Titantron when he used to come out, he sort of have like this big face smiling. Didn't feel very mysterious. You know, when we had The Undertaker coming down to the ring, we didn't have his big face smiling back in the day. I just think there was a few decisions that were made, which I don't even think were Bray's. You know, the problem Bray had was I think he had great decisions, great creative, came up with great stuff, but it would always have other people involved. You know, we've heard stories of him being very frustrated backstage because he has certain visions of what he wants to do, and it would never be executed perfectly. You know, it's one of those where it's too many cooks, isn't it? There's too many people putting their fingers in and like throwing in their 2 pence, or you should do this, you should do that. And then it ends up not being quite in anyone's vision. And I think there's a good chance that's what happened with Howdy, actually. Because it didn't feel quite right. It didn't feel quite right. We know, for starters, the mask changed. You know. There's a lot of unknowns. It's very hard to criticize a story that was never completed. We never got everything, so, you know, it's not really fair to kind of criticize it or whatever. All I can say is that the point we got to, I personally didn't find the Uncle Howdy character very compelling. I enjoyed trying to decode who it was, and I enjoyed talking about the mask, and I think there was definitely things that I enjoyed getting my teeth into about it, but actually looking at the pitch black match and that jump, as you said, his big smiley face when he used to come down to the ring. Do you remember when he attacked Bobby as well? After the Rumble. So he attacked Bobby. Bobby dealt with him. And Uncle Howdy had to, like, scurry away. I mean, that's not a great way of presenting this being, is it? He has to try and sneak attack Bobby, and then Bobby just easily deals with him. And Uncle Howdy has to, like, scurry away. Like, it was just not a good look. There was quite a few things that were not a good look. So you could bring him back as Howdy, but you've really got to change the presentation. You've really got to change the presentation. You could bring him back as Howdy, but I think that people are so emotionally connected to Bo. They're so hurt by Bray's loss, and they so feel for Bo that if Bo was to come back, if there was a segment where it's like, don't miss Raw, Bo's going to be on Raw, Bo Dallas is going to say, and he comes back and he thanks the fans for their support of Bray and what, you know, that Bray meant to him and how much we miss him and everything. And then he announces, look, I'm also going to announce that I will be back with WWE, and there is a story that I need to finish. And I don't mean to borrow from Cody, but I'm sure he won't mind. But, you know, my brother always wanted to help me become a world champion. He was really hoping that the Uncle Howdy character would help do that. You know, our dream was that he would be undisputed champion and I would be world heavyweight champion, you know, that we would both be world champions. And he managed to achieve that. I'm so pleased he managed to achieve that before he passed away. But he really wanted that for me. And that's what we were hoping Uncle Howdy would lead to. And I want to achieve it for him. I want to show that that work that he did wasn't wasted. And that, I mean, wow, the crowd would be so with him. The crowd would be so with him. They would really want him to achieve that, because it's not just achieving it for him, it's achieving it for Bray as well. And I think it'd be a really good story. And again, very emotional, because if he achieves it, you're going to be thinking of Bray in that moment. You're going to be thinking about Bray in that moment. And there could even be moments where he does sort of bring back the Funhouse, and he does sort of bring in like the Howdy character. Maybe the Howdy character could be presented as his alter ego, much how the Demon is Finn's alter ego, or the Fiend was Bray's alter ego. Maybe Howdy could be presented as his alter ego. So we just sort of tweak the presentation a little bit, because Howdy hasn't been presented that way. We don't know that Bo is Howdy, but he was. So I kind of feel like there'd be a lot of work to do there. But that's the kind of thing that I would be looking to do. But again, you know, everyone's going to want to do something different with it, because everyone's got different opinions on it. And so it'd be up to you as to how you'd want to bring back Bo Dallas. I think he should come back. It really depends on what he wants to do, though, doesn't it? He might just be dumb. I think he had a quite nice life. I think, wasn't he doing like property and like estate agency, and like he had like properties that he was selling and whatever. Shoulder up there by Axium. We are back from commercial break, so we've got Miles Bourne and Charlie Dempsey taking on Axiom and Nathan Frazier. This is our second match, No Quarter Catch Crew. Don't know who's going to be representing No Quarter Catch Crew in the Heritage Cup later. Gunther Omos, WrestleMania 53, said Flint the Squishy Fish. How about mixing real life with the character, and Bo Return is as Taylor Wyatt? Is that his... I don't know. Is that his real name? I don't know. I don't know what the is. I don't know if that's his real name. It's not. Taylor Wyndham is his name, is it? So he'd come back as Taylor Wyatt. Honestly, I think there'd be a lot of things that you could look to do with a return. I would definitely think that there would be something in that realism, though, you know? I think, like, I think the fans want to have that connection. They want that moment where he comes and speaks to them. Very much like how Bray actually spoke to the fans when he returned. And he was like, look, this is me, stripped back. This is Wyndham. I'm talking to you. I spoke to many of you whilst I was released, and you told me all your stories about how I inspired you and, you know, what it meant to me. And I think people loved that because they felt like they were connecting with him, you know. And I suppose the heartbreak is that he said, I'm going to do wonderful things whilst I'm here. And he didn't get time. He didn't get chance. He went into a feud with Bo into LA. With LA Knight, and he didn't really get a chance to do those wonderful things he said he was going to do. And a lot of people want to see what he was going to do in that documentary. Right, we've got loads of people down at the moment. We've got Axiom going over to the corner. Top rope Inzaguris. Spanish Fly, Axiom going up top. Oh, comes crashing down. And there we go. It's a win for Nathan and Axiom. Taylor Rotunda is his real name. Thank you. Okay, let's go over and get the poll up, shall we, for what people thought about this one. We are 37 minutes into NXT. So, NXT Tag Team Championship Triple Threat coming up soon. Not this week. We need to get one more team added, but it's going to be LWO versus Axiom and Nathan versus whoever wins next week. And the winner of that triple threat will go on to then face the current tag champs, the Wolf Dogs. Right, we're just seeing last week with Von Wagner carrying out Robert Stone, Mr. Stone, and then we got NXT Anonymous. Mr. Stone kicking off at Von Wagner. What's your thoughts on The Rock? He wants to go back to TV 14 versus the Attitude Era. What's your thoughts on The Rock? He wants WWE to go back to TV 14. Has he said that? Has he said that? I really don't think they should. I don't see what you gain by doing that. I feel like you'll alienate a lot of kids. So that means that anyone under the age of 14 won't be able to watch. So what are you going to do with all them kids that love Cody? Advertisers, sponsors, that's going to limit it. I mean, from a financial point of view, they're making money hand over fist. Why would you want to rock the boat? Why would you want to? Well, I don't understand. WWE are gloating about the fact that they're like making more money than they have before. Highest gross in SummerSlam, highest gross in Survivor Series, highest gross in International Show, highest gross in SmackDown, blah, 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 blah. What is indicating that we need to make any sort of change at the moment? Just so we can swear? That's not been a problem. We said before the whole Bloodline story was amazing. It was cinema. People have absolutely loved it. There was no swearing in that. We had Usi. That was amazing. So I don't get it. I don't understand. I think that it's outdated. I think The Rock's looking, and I think The Rock, I don't even know that The Rock's saying that. I think The Rock wants to have the freedom to do what he wants to do, and if it involves swearing, then he doesn't really want to be told he can't. I don't know that he wants the rest of the roster doing that. Is it double standards? Yes. Does that upset some people? Yes. Does it bother me? No. Doesn't bother me because I think The Rock's earned it in the sense of he's The Rock. He's one of the biggest stars in the world. He was around in the Attitude Era. He helped build where we are now. And so for me, he's got credit in the bank. You know, there's other wrestlers that have not had the same impact that The Rock has had. I would say pretty much all of them on the main roster. Don't know that anyone has had the impact The Rock's had. And that's on the active roster. And so I mean, we've spoke. I think The Rock's a Mount Rushmore person. I think he's on there with the likes of Hogan, Stone Cold, Rock, and then that fourth one is up for debate. Do you put Cena on it? Do you put Undertaker on it? Do you put Roman on it, maybe? But, you know, what The Rock has achieved is ahead of what Cody has achieved. It's ahead of what Gunther has achieved. It's ahead of what these other people have achieved. Like, they've still got to climb that ladder. So, you know, once they get into a position where they can afford to swear because it doesn't matter if no one's going to sack them. Like, once they get into that position, then let's talk. But I think The Rock has earned... He's on the board. If nothing else, he's on the board. He's on the TKO board. He is in a different position. So I feel like it's an interesting conversation. People have different opinions on it. I really don't think we need to go to bad language. I don't know what would indicate we need to go in that direction. I don't know what would indicate that we need to alienate kids. There's a lot of youngsters that are really enjoying the products. Why do we want to exclude them? Why do we want kids to not be, welcome to shows? I mean, if you do TV 14, that would mean that the live shows, you're not going to be able to get tickets to go. Kids won't be able to go because it'll be a TV 14 presentation, so kids won't be able to go. Think of all them kids that you'll see in Cody, dressing up as Cody, making their signs. I don't get it, man. I got into wrestling when I was a kid. That was a PG product during the golden age. Are you telling me that the Hulkamania stuff wasn't successful? That was all PG. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't get this. I think it's because there's people out there that really love the Attitude Era and they just can't let it go. And I think maybe The Rock's one of them. In the words of Elsa, let it go. Wrestle with Andy said Sol Ruca is one of those that feels like she'll be an even better on the main roster than in NXT. A bit like Becky and Roman were. Yeah, it's a fair point. I think she's been off injured. She is someone that people have got a lot of affection for, but she is someone that can do some amazing things, but those amazing things will always look better on the bigger stages, you know. It's going to be a lot better having 60-odd thousand freaking out to a Soul Snatcher than, say, 300 people. So, yeah, I agree. Right, we're backstage with the Wolf Dogs. Right, Sol Ruca, Brinley Reece match coming up. Let's end the poll for that last match. Okay, here's Alpha Academy. They want to know why they're not involved in the tag tournament. Thank you. Too late. If these two can beat you two next week, then they should be in the tag title match. You've got the match, but now you're going to pay for it. Okay, so Alpha Academy then are going to be taking on the Wolf Dogs next week. Alpha Academy against the Wolf Dogs next week. If they can win, they will be added to the match. That's one hell of an outfit that the Kelly woman is wearing, isn't it? Right, here comes Brinley Reece then. I like this girl. She's really bubbly. Really bubbly. Imagine her with Thea Hale. Jesus. The amount of energy they'd be able to generate. Felt like you could power a small town. So, Brinley Reece in the ring. She's going to be taking on Sol Ruca. Are we going to see that Soul Snatcher? It's been a while on NXT. She has been doing it on NXT Level Up. So, smile on the face of Sol. Mitchell said Baron Corbin in a tracksuit is weird. He looked good, actually. He looked tall. Imposing. He has got a good size to him, hasn't he? He's quite deceptive in that front. Right. Oh, Sol Ruca goes over. Lovely work here. A bit of mat-based grappling as they both get back up to their feet. Brinley cartwheels out of that. Both of these very athletic. Brinley headlock on at the moment, going back against the ropes. We haven't seen loads of Brinley in the ring. She's had a few matches, but we haven't seen loads of her. She's hanging around with Idris and Anofi. They're at ringside. Here's Sol. Headlock there by Sol. She goes back against the ropes. Over to the other side. Over the top of Brinley. Brinley, leapfrog. Sol goes over. Lands on her feet. Very quick in the transition. Lovely on her feet. Facebuster. Going for a cover. 1, 2. Shoulder up there by Brinley. And now Sol. Back in control. The Rock only cares about The Rock, said Jim, not the actual product. He also showed that with Black Adam, says Jim. Delwyn, shout out to you, my friends. Delwyn said, Daze, I turned 25 yesterday. Oh, dude, that's old. That is old. I hope I never turn 25. But, Delwyn, I hope it's going all right. I'd imagine you've got a few grey hairs starting to come through on your beard and whatnot. You'll be able to play Santa in the shopping mall soon, won't you? But it's around that sort of age. But I hope you had a good day. Clothesline, down went Sol Ruca. I'm feeling blessed to see The Rock return to WWE. Long-term story with Roman. Cody is doing incredible work. Babyface as ever. Delwyn, shout out to you, my friends. Yeah, a very happy birthday, buds. 25. Amazing. There's a lot of musicians that died at the age of 27, you know. There's a whole 27 club where a lot... Look it up. There's a lot of famous people that died at the age of 27. So, you know. Happy birthday. Right, underhooks by Sol Ruca. Lovely suplex. Lovely suplex. Daze, you turned 25 about 20 years ago. Dude, mate, what are you on about? What are you on about? I've been telling you for years now. Oh, there it is. I've been telling you for years that I'm 21. Why does no one listen? Brinley getting her shoulder up. The Soul Snatcher connects. Beautiful. She needs to come up with a new move now because I'm bored of that one. Boring. Seen it. Boring. Seen it now, ain't we? Do something else. Brinley's still smiling. I love Brinley's like, ah! She's still like giving a oh! Blair Davenport nails Sol Ruca. Well, that's some wild. I'd imagine Seth's got them pants. There might be Seth's. Blair Davenport attacks Sol Ruca. No, we need to do the poll, don't we? Need to do the poll. What did people think of Sol Ruca against Brinley? There's the Riz. There's the Riz. Go on, the Riz. Welcome to Philadelphia. Mitchell said, considering Corbin at one point was the next Undertaker. Was he? Imagine Undertaker showing up in a tracksuit. Dude, wait, he was never the next Undertaker? When was he the next Undertaker? Well, did I miss this? When was he the next Undertaker? He was the Lone Wolf. But that wasn't an Undertaker thing. Unless you're basing it on American Badass. But he was never into that sort of mysterious sort of vibe. I remember him being happy. I remember him being broke. I remember him being the lone wolf. I never had him down for that. That's interesting. If that's how you saw him, that's interesting. I can't say I ever saw him that way. A-Jubs said Sol Ruca's theme music is so generic, it's just surfer instrumental. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. She should come out to Surfing USA. Surfing USA. WrestleMania in 18 days. It's really cool. 18 days? I don't know why I'm looking at my watch. 18 days, oh yeah. Yeah, that isn't far away, is it? Less than 3 weeks. So what? That was 3 weeks at the weekend just gone. No way. Well, there we go. So not next week. Not the weekend after, but the weekend after. Oh my god. I should probably set up the stream, shouldn't I, really? Should probably get the WrestleMania stream ready to go. Kyle said, hope you're well. I'm thinking about Trick against Carmelo in a steel cage. Ooh, yeah, that could be fun. I wouldn't mind that. I don't know if you'd do a normal match first and then do a steel cage after, but you might only get one opportunity to do one match, you know? You could do it. You can do it in a steel cage. Normally do a steel cage to keep people out. Perhaps you got to keep Lash Legend out because she's so desperate to kiss Trick Williams again. Let me at him! Let me at him! We're going to have to do this in a steel cage. In fact, it might have to be Hell in a Cell. This woman, she ain't leaving me alone. She might come down with bolt cutters. Just to give him another smooch. Yeah, you could do it. You could do a cage match, but I don't know. I don't mind a non-cage match for this. It's going to be a red-hot feud. I say feud, as I say, it might be one and done. I mean, really, after Stand and Deliver, Carmelo could get called up, couldn't he, the week after WrestleMania? He's already been on the main roster, so you might only get one shot. You might only get one chance to do a match between them. So if you want that to be a cage match, let's go for it. I'd have no problems with it. We've got the Bray trailer. Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? That bit where he's looking at the mask's bow and the pictures and everything. Is this going to say Peacock? I'd imagine it will, but it would be great if they confirmed that it would be on the network for us people that don't live in America. Superstar. Peacock Original, Monday, April 1st. Streaming exclusively on Peacock. What does that mean? Okay, Ren Sinclair and Gigi Dolan. Here she is. Miss NXT. Your actions were intentional. Mine were accidental. I need to bring out the true lady out of you. Ariana, you cheated. We've got so much. Oh, she's getting a box. Oh, a gift. Miss NXT in training sash. We could have some fun with this. It's a big sash. There we go. She's got a Miss NXT in training sash. We're getting the before photo. She's not happy, man. Here's Rich. It's pretty obvious that this effort to improve myself, it's not going the way that I wanted. The result against Sean Spears. I'm just gonna do what everyone wants me to do. What's that? What's that? I'm just gonna do what everyone wants me to do. What's what? What do we want him to do? I'm just gonna do what everyone wants me to do. Right, here's Tony D'Angelo. Daze, if you could have one singer cover the halftime score song, who would it be? Has this always been the music? This sounds epic. Has this always been the D'Angelo music? I don't know. Who would you want it to be? Who would you have wrestled Andy? The Riz. Riz has got big shoes on, man. Big shoes on the Riz. I don't know who I'd want it to be. Right, Tony, saying a few words. Taylor Swift, it's a bit obvious, isn't it? Do you know who would be good to get to do it, though? Jim Johnston. Imagine if Jim Johnston did it and we had an official halftime score song from Jim Johnston. So maybe it's not who sings it, it's who creates it, who produces it. And I'd have Jim Johnston putting a bit of a guitar on it. Ilja knows wisdom equals power. And the Donna's got immense power. Put it together for my new consigliere. Consigliere. It's not a word I ever say. Consigliere. Right. Luca, welcome. Ilja, unbeatable. Unbreakable. I got respects. Takes guts to move over here for a better life. Over the past few weeks, I've shown you, and everyone, Tony D is the one man who will break the unbreakable. Tony. Here's Ilja. You can feel this championship in your grasp. You can smell it. This here. This is power beyond your reach. Ilja, you got it all wrong. You've no idea what I can do? There's a lot of space and opportunity. You've no idea what I can do. Stacks. Stacks competing next week, is he? Against Ilja? I'll see you at Stand and Deliver. But what shape will you be in? One wrong move. One wrong move and you'll wish you never messed with Tony D. See you next week. Okay. Tell you what, could you imagine a WrestleMania entrance for the family and Tony and everyone? I mean, like coming out in like an old 20s car with the Tommy guns and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be. Do you remember when they did that at WrestleMania? CM Punk was part of it. That'll be so good. Listen, Tony D has been doing a lot in NXT for a long time. It's time for him to take that step up to the main event scene, main event picture. Is that championship going to be with the family? Does Tony get the job done? I actually think he could. What should main event, Chick Mello or Dragunov, Tony D'Angelo? It's hard to not say the championship, but I really understand the question. I really do understand the question. Clearly, Trick is the most over. And clearly, it's it's the bigger match. But the NXT title is the NXT title. It's hard for that to not be in the main event spot. Certainly if you're going to crown a new champ as well, you know. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. Thea has come up to Riley. She says, look, I'm sorry. I've not been myself. I'm trying to figure out who Thea Hale is. Can we still be friends? Who's coming in there? There's Duke. There's Andre. So is she back with Duke Hudson and Andre Chase? Oh. They very quickly got out, didn't they? They very quickly got out into the entranceway. Might that have been a pre-recorded segment we just watched backstage? I mean, literally, they walk off camera. Next moment, they're stood in the arena. Chase, you are out in the arena, and there's Thea Hale. She hasn't got a Chase U shirt on, but she is circling round. Goes down to her knees. Throws up the Chase U logo. Let's go. Would you rather NXT be 3 hours or SmackDown be 3 hours? Well, I've been enjoying SmackDown more than NXT recently. So I would probably go with with SmackDown being 3 hours over NXT. But I actually think if any show would benefit by being 3 hours, I think it would be NXT. Because you've got... This is developmental, and these people need TV time, and they need to learn to do live promos, and they need to have matches in front of a crowd, and they need to know what it's like to be nervous when you're about to walk out and hit your time cues. These people need to learn. So actually, if this was 3 hours, you could feature more wrestlers, more talent. They could have more experience, which is probably a better thing, isn't it, really? It's probably not better for the quality of the show, but it's probably better for getting the experience that these talents need in NXT. For me, NXT was at its absolute best when it was an hour. Hour long, super tight, great. You always had a great main event. You had your key segments, and it was an hour, like 40-something minutes with adverts. And it was just so... It just kept on delivering. In a way, I mean, it's like most shows, isn't it? Imagine if you... Like Raw, SmackDown, even NXT, you only had the best parts fitted into an hour. I mean, those would be amazing, wouldn't they? Imagine Raw, which people loved, but imagine if it was only an hour and it was just the best bits. And you might even say, well, you couldn't fit everything in the hour. Well, yeah, that's what NXT was like. It was just absolutely fantastic when it was on the network and it was an hour. And then it went to 2 hours, and we have had some really great 2 hour shows, but it does become harder to do 2 hours every single week. And 3 hours for Raw every week, I mean, that has been a challenge. A lot of people would like to see that go down to 2 again. But I don't know. We had this conversation yesterday. It's going to Netflix. Could they take it down to 2? Because it doesn't really matter on Netflix. They haven't got a schedule that they've got to fill. They just want you to pay the $9.99. As long as you paid the $9.99 or whatever the price is now to actually be subscribed to Netflix, as long as you pay that, they're happy. They don't need 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. They don't need that. They just need your money. So it's going to be a different mentality when it moves over to Netflix. Hello. Shout out to Sweet X Warrior. Hope you are well. Is the Heritage Cup being defended under the Freebird rule? It's being defended under the no catch clause, I think they call it. It means that any one of the 4 members can defend it. So, no catch clause. I'm Your Father said the Rock and Bloodline promo a few weeks ago would have been the whole SmackDown show if it was only an hour. That's true. The one that went like nearly 40 minutes. That's true. The Rock and Roman both will be at Raw before Mania, said A. Jobson. Yes. Jason said we've got a Powerball jackpot tomorrow worth $1 billion. That feels like one of them. $1 billion. Why have I got a black screen? What's this about? I have got a black screen, but it says that I'm live. Anyone else got a black screen? What's going on? What's happening? Anyone else? Just me? Probably just me. Refresh it. Just in case there's a drama. I could see Von joining Lexus. Sean D's. Let's go back. There we go. It's back again. Lovely. Just, oh, well, lovely. Yeah, I just had a completely black screen. Then I hit refresh, and it's still at the adverts at the moment. TikTok, here is Carmen Petrovic. Your hands can't hit what your eyes can't see. Who wants to kick it with me? Hashtag karate. Lola Vice said your Ninja Turtle karate skills are hilarious. You wouldn't last 30 seconds in a cage with me. Your Ninja Turtle karate skills are hilarious. Love that. There is the Heritage Cup. Right, so it is going to be the Heritage Cup match now. Halftime score song performed by Creed. Oh, wow. Or Korn. Slipknot. Looks like it's going to be Drew Gulak. Drew Gulak versus Riley Osborne. This is going to be our next match then. Drew Gulak against Riley Osborne. Heritage Cup rules. Drew Gulak versus Riley Osborne. Boom, 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 boom. Right, let's go. We are underway. With, oh, good work there by Riley Osborne. Very good. I don't know much about Riley Osborne. I don't know where he competed or... Riley Osborne. But where did he come from? Where did he train? Has he got any wrestling background? Do we know anything about him? Josh Morrell. Josh Morrell. His nickname is Turbo. He also competed as Josh Terry, Josh Morrell, and Riley Osborne. Looks like he competed a bit in NXT UK, but... Well, according to this, he's been a wrestler since 2016. He's been a wrestler in 2016, so he must have competed on the indies. Target Wrestling. One-time Target Wrestling champion. And Target Wrestling tag team champ. What the hell is Target Wrestling? I've never even heard of it. Target Wrestling. Do you reckon there's a Walmart Wrestling as well? Target Wrestling. It's where all the employees get together on a weekend and have a go. Target Wrestling. It's even got the Target sort of logo. It's based in Cumbria, England. It was established in 2013. I've never heard of it. I have never heard of it. But apparently he came through Target Wrestling. Well, there we go. Who knew? That's a gateway. Go to Target Wrestling. Make a name for yourself. Then get spotted. Go to NXT UK. Do well. Go to NXT. Do well. Get to the main roster. I wish I was a kid now. If I was young now, I feel like it's so easy to get into NXT. Well, not easy, but, you know, if you put the work in, really put the work in, build your body up, do the reps, learn the moves, get good. I mean, you stand a real good chance in this day and age of getting signed. Wow, Riley Osborne picks up the first fall, pins Drew Gulak. Wow, there's concern on the face of Charlie Dempsey. Thea's like, do you want this? Do you want this? Good job. Damon Kemp's got a few words there for Drew Gulak. Riley Osborne. Well, this just got real interesting. I thought Drew Gulak was going to run this. But round one ends, and it's a pinfall for Riley Osborne. Gulak goes to the outsides. Duke Hudson's asking. Wow, Riley Osborne over the top. Comes crashing down onto Drew Gulak. Osborne looking great here. Listen, they really know how to create talent at Target Wrestling. Oh, big crossbody. 1, 2. Lovely reversal by Drew Gulak. Drop kick there by Riley Osborne. Osborne standing. Oof. He didn't do like a standing moonsault. He did like a standing twisting thing. Picks up Gulak. Gulak looks like he's got sausages printed on his ring gear. 1, 2. 1, 2. Goes back against the ropes. Riley Osborne over the other side. Gulak goes down. Osborne, we got a crisscross. Gulak again, rolling through. Oh, that was great. That was great. That was great. He got a pin. Did he get a pin on that? That was great. So Riley jumped up and Drew actually stopped underneath him. As Riley came down, he flips him over and goes straight into a pin. Really clever. And I think that makes it 1-1. Ooh, Riley is really talented, said A. Jobson. Target has got a wrestling premiere. Yeah, but for some reason it's based in Cumbria, England, where there are no Target stores. Kian, shout out to you. The match is good. We've got some technical wrestling. Dro said Riley is so impressive. He's really doing well. Really, really well. I understand they have a clause, but why is it that Charlie Dempsey is listed as the Heritage Cup champion? He is the winner of the Heritage Cup. I don't know that you can have all of No Quarter Catch Crew listed, so technically he won it, but it's just that the clause is that any of them can defend it. We get some wrestling on our hands. A match has broken loose, said Moljam. Corey said, what about Kmart wrestling went broke, mate? Don't know if you heard. Shut down. Is Best Buy gone as well? Has that gone? I feel like it has. Same as Toys R Us wrestling, although I've heard that's coming back. Anyone else here that like Toys R Us is coming back, but it never actually comes back? I keep hearing that it's coming back. Oh yeah, have you heard it's coming to the UK? I haven't seen a Toys R Us. Is there any news about Toys R Us coming back in the UK? I bet it's like, it's probably that it's coming. Toys R Us is now open again. Toys R Us is back. Okay, where are you then? You cowards. You cowards, where are you? It's all well and good telling me you're back, but where are you? If I want to find you. Store Finder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 in the UK. Not really bad. There's only 9. Canterbury. Canterbury. Ooh. That's where all the lords and the ladies live, in Canterbury. Oh, hello, Darcy. How are you? Canterbury. Of course, they've got one in Canterbury. Chelmsford. Cheltenham. Oxford. Come on. Reading. Solihull. They've gone to all the posh areas. Where's Hull? Eh? You cowards. So, well, apparently there's a few. But they're in WH Smiths, so they're all just must be... they're not really back. They're just sections, aren't they? Little small sections. Because they're all in WH Smiths. So they're not even their own stores. Have you got them in America yet? Can I go to Toys R Us in America? Oh, that'd be so good if you've got them in America again. You better have. Kick coming in, Insguri kick there by Riley. Cheltenham is about an hour away from me, says Jet. Well, don't get too excited. It's only in the WH Smiths. So it's not got, they've not got their own shops again. Wow, look at that. He's got like a bit of a dragon sleeper applied. It's actually not on the neck. It's across like the nose. And we get to the end of the round. End of the round, and Riley survives. Oh, JC and Jasmine have come down. Look at Thea's face. She's very good at conveying her emotions. It's like that. So during the commercial break, we've had to drag Thea away from JC. So they've come down. They're distracting Thea at the moment. I'm sure they'll play a part in this match as well. As we're in round 4. We can go, I think, 6 rounds. Roll up there by Drew Gulak. And Dragon Sleeper again. Oh, but this time Riley flips over. Almost gets the pin of Drew Gulak. Gulak goes down. Roll through there by Riley. Lovely takeover into a pin, but reversed by Drew Gulak. Yeah, I tell you, we've got... Oh, that didn't go well. Gulak looking for another very quick, fast-paced action here between these two. Oh, man, he only just bridged. It was so close to being a 3, but Riley just manages to power his way up. Now, got underhooks by Gulak. He's trying to backslide Riley. Riley reversing those underhooks. Now he's trying to backslide Gulak. Over the top goes Riley. Small package inside cradle. Looking for the pin there by Riley, but no joy. Big chop by Riley. Gulak against the ropes. Clothesline. Turns Riley inside out. Riley goes over by the ropes. Gulak's on his feet looking over at Riley. Gulak comes over and Riley with a forearm strike. Gulak is over in the corner. Who's JC cheering for? JC was cheering for someone. And you can see that Andre Chase is getting a bit distracted by them. Oh. Thea launches off the ring steps. Oh, no. JC gets in the ring. That's going to allow Jasmine to interfere. And that's going to cost Riley. Oh. Riley loses because Jasmine interferes. Oh. Well, Riley didn't deserve that, did he? Good battling performance, that, you know. A good battling performance there. I don't mind this result. It's a great way of making Riley look good. A great way of keeping the championship in the no quarter catch crew. Great way of furthering the story between Thea and JC. I mean, Thea Hale versus JC Jane is a match we're clearly building towards. Daze, sing Bianca's theme song. I never needed you at all. Ba-ba-bum-bum. Ba-ba-bum-bum. Ba-bum. So Jasmine getting the interference. There's Thea. JC waving over at Thea, blowing a kiss. You'd think that JC would have other things to focus on, you know, like trying to be the women's champ, rather than picking on Thea Hale. Here's Brooks Jensen. Here's Fallon. I just wanted to make sure you was okay after last week. I'm sick of everything. Everything's going great for you. But for me, I don't know what I want, but it sure as hell isn't in this parking lot. Ah, Kalani. What goes around comes around. Trick Williams. Trick Williams, Noam Dar. I forgot about this. We still got this to come. Trick Williams, Noam Dar tonight. 34 minutes left of NXT. Let's go. When Trick Williams, Carmelo, Ilja go to the main roster, who will replace them? Well, I mean, we've got a few people that are coming through. You know, we've got Riley. We've got that Trey Bear Hill. Obviously, Oba Femi's brand new. It's just that he got to that belt really quickly. You've still got Eddie Thorpe around. There's a few. We just did that breakout tournament, didn't we? One thing they're not short of is the next wave of talent. They're constantly doing tryouts and constantly bringing in people. And Good Brothers making their way down to the ring. They're going to be taking on Hank and Tank. Surely it's the Good Bros that win this. Right, keep getting in your votes. What did you think about Drew Gulak, Riley Osborne? Get in your votes. We need to shut that down soon because the new next match will be starting. I don't want to get cross wires. Edward said, Daze, how are things? Have you had a good day? Did you do anything exciting? Nope. Nope. My life is pretty much the same. Wake up, something to eat, see what I've missed out on. Catch up on stuff unseen. Get ready for the stream or whatever it is we're doing. Wrestling Escape Pods. NXT. After this, work on Unseen. Then before I know it, you know, it'll be coming around to having something to eat. Start to think about going to bed so I can get back up so I can repeat the cycle all over again. That is a glimpse into my life. Thea Hale against JC in a sumo match. Let's go, man. Let's go. I need more Trick and Lash, said Joey. I'm loving my new shirt, said Edward. Very good. Well, you've got it just in time for next week. Isn't Punk on Raw next week? It's a good time to get a CM Punk shirt. I want a Dijak shirt. I'm loving Dijak. Dijak's social media game is the best. So I hope that they do put a Dijak shirt up. Has there ever been a Dijak shirt? I don't even know if there's ever been a Dijak shirt. Dijak shirt. There might be a T-bar shirt. I don't know. I don't know that I've ever seen one, which if there's never been one, that would be amazing. If there's never been a Dijak shirt, that would be amazing. Heads will roll. I am your father said, I still don't get why JC is turning on Chase U when she saved them. Well, I think she was nice. And then since Jasmine has come in, she started to turn back to what she was before when she was in Toxic Attraction. I think she's just an easily led individual. So she was with Thea, and she was with Chase U, and so she was lovely. And now Jasmine's... It's Jasmine. So ever since this Jasmine's come on the scene, that's the problem. I'm just saying. Can't tell me that's not a coincidence. This Jasmine comes on and say all of a sudden now Jace is being all heelish. So I think it's that. I think she's just easily led. That's all. A. Johnson said, hopefully this will get the Good Brothers the boost they need so that when they go back to the main roster, they can be used efficiently the way they should have been in the tag division. Edward said, I've got a Dijak shirt. Have you? Have they made one? Did they make one? The whole story with Chase U and JC Jasmine makes no sense. I'm ready for it to be over. Are you doing AEW? No, we don't do it, bud. We don't do it. Tommy Toy Travels does it now. That's where you'll find the community. I don't even know what's on. Don't even know what's happening. Mercedes. She'll be doing something, won't she, eh? Earning money. Making money, that's what she'll be doing. Right, here's Ava. Here's Thea. Jasmine against Thea next week. She's amazing. She reminds me of the Fraggles from Fraggle Rock. Or the Minions. I feel like this is where she gets her character inspiration from. Ava has just said to Dijak that he may find himself getting into the North American title picture. I'm fine. AEW is boring, said Johnny. I don't know why I watch it. I find WWE to be better. Well, it's each to their own, innit? Each to their own. There's people that love AEW, and that's fine. And there's people that enjoy WWE, and there's people that love both. So... it's a personal thing. It's down to you as to, you know, do you want to watch one, the other, both? It's just personal. Shots coming in. Against the ropes goes Anderson. Back elbow by Tank. A. Jobster said, I think Trips is getting ready for the tag titles to split. So he's building up as many tag teams as possible. Rivy said the Good Brothers had better not lose. Jim said, clearly building up a blood feud between Thea Hale and JC Jane. I meant to ask, but I forgot what I was going to ask. Okay. Tank in the corner. I tried watching AEW. I couldn't get into it, says Brony. Hank and Tank in control at the moment. So Tank on the outside of the ring. Hank with big shot to the midsection there of Anderson. Anderson goes over to the other side as Hank collides into him. Anderson goes down, looking for the cover to shoulder up. Shoulder up. Right now we've got Anderson going over into the corner. Hank comes over, throws in a big shot. And again to the midsection. Boom, big boots. Hank again looking for a superplex to Anderson. Gets it. 1, 2, kick out by Anderson. Should Gallows and Anderson be struggling against Hank and Tank? It's a difficult one because they need to get their reps in, don't they? They need to know what it's like to actually be in there, but I feel like this is a team that with Gallows and Anderson's experience, they should dispatch quite comfortably. But it doesn't really help them if they dispatch them quite comfortably, does it? It's that balance where you have to weigh up the storytelling with, like, development. Hank is going up top. Big shot there by... Wow, that was cool. Gallows with a big shot. And Hank spills to the outside. We got 25 minutes still to go and an overrun. We always have a little overrun. We love it. Into the barricade goes Hank. Gallows smashing Hank again. He's got a bit of blood coming out of his nose or out of his mouth. Gallows getting back in. What are your thoughts on Jay turning on Cody and not Seth? I wouldn't do it. I just look at like how much work we've put into getting Jay over, and he is so over. And he's selling merch, and people love the hand thing, and people love the yeet thing, and it's working. He's feeling like a big star, a big solo star. He's one of the most played characters on 2K24. He's one of the big merch sellers. He's in a big feud with Jimmy. I just don't know why you'd want to throw that away now after all the work we've put into securing the yeet catchphrase and getting the hand gesture over. Like, we're just going to chuck it away and turn him heel. I wouldn't do it. I don't see how that makes any sense. Shot coming into the midsection there by Hank, and again uppercut coming in by Anderson. Booker T just mentioned TNA, says Daniel. Big boot coming in by Anderson. I would rather Seth turn on Cody than Jay, said Dro. Yeah, same. I think because like Seth's character just doesn't feel quite right to me, and I know that people love his song and all of that kind of stuff, but Seth's been a face and he's been a heel and he's well established as a big star, well established as a single star. You got a bit more freedom with him, whereas with Jay, we're still building him up as a single star, solo star. He hasn't won any singles championships compared to Seth, who's won loads. And Seth, who's been a solo star since 2014, 10 years. So yeah, I would have Seth turn if you wanted to do that. We're keeping Hank grounded at the moment. Hank trying to get over, make the tag. Brony said Seth's character hasn't felt right for about 5 years now. Yeah, I don't disagree. I think the Monday Night Messiah thing didn't feel right. Then he went to SmackDown, and so he couldn't be the Monday Night Messiah because it was on a Friday, and he didn't change it to Friday Night Messiah. Instead, this is where we started doing like visionary stuff. And then he started to wear the outlandish clothes. He moved back to Monday, started wearing the outlandish clothes. And we really started to kind of dig into the character we are now. But it's never been established what this flipping character is. It's never been established why he wears the outlandish clothes. He's just trying to stand out. He's just trying to... I don't know. Stand out. I don't know why we can't go back to Monday Night Rollins and he puts on banging matches, you know? Hank going for the cover. 1, 2. Maybe give him a faction. Just totally mix it up. Give him a couple of young guys and have him the leader of a faction. Shoulder tackle. Gallows goes down. Gallows goes out the ring. Sort of tried that when he was the Messiah, didn't we? He had the disciples. Austin Theory was a disciple, as was Buddy Murphy. They're really struggling with Hank and Tank, man. They're really struggling with them. I think they will get past them, but... Into the steps goes Hank. Tank Spinebuster by Anderson. In comes Gallows. Boom. Magic Killer. 2, 3. And the Good Brothers pick up the victory. It's a win for the Good Brothers. Right, let's get this poll up. Match score. What did you think about that one? Gallows and Anderson will be taking on Nathan Frazier, and Axiom will be taking on the LWO, and the winners will go on to face the Wolf Dogs. Lyra versus Roxanne, made for Stand and Deliver. Ilja Dragunov will be taking on Tony D'Angelo at Stand and Deliver. Card really starting to come together. Carmelo Hayes takes on Trick Williams at Stand and Deliver. Listen, Lyra versus Roxanne, Carmelo versus Trick, Ilja defending against Tony. Might not be the strongest opponent for Ilja, but Tony's a credible name. It's not that's a good looking card, man. Carmelo against Trick could be a match of the weekend. We're backstage with Trick. He's got a big smile on his face. To be real, I'm traveling light. You know Carmelo's in the building. I know you're here. I'm glad you're here. All right, well, let's go. Entrance time. Okay, so Noam Dar making his way down to the ring. It's time for our main events. Carmelo is apparently in the building. Carmelo Hayes is there. Noam Dar, Trick Williams. Metaphor. Obviously, we've got the whole Lash legend situation as well. Noam Dar is making his way. I really like Noam Dar. I like him a lot. I had a football match today with my college. It was good. As a boxer, I realized how much fitter I could be, as I've been away for boxing for a few weeks now. T-Sizzle said, was that when Seth took Mysterio's eye? Yeah, that was in 2020. Yes. Days, on Friday, I went to a new store called Pop Shelf. Oh, do you know what? You've just reminded me of something common in life. In and Out Sunday, new breakfast restaurant called Maple and Yolk. Ooh, Maple and Yolk. Hey, when I go to America, what are the American things that I need to try? What are the American things that I might not have tried before? I've been to America a few times, but what do I need to try? I've got one thing written down at the moment, and that's it. And it's corn dog. I need to try a corn dog. We don't have corn dogs here. Don't have corn dogs. So what do I need to try when I'm in America? A corn dog. I don't know what else. It's hard to know, innit? It's hard to know what you have in America that we don't have here, but corn dogs is definitely one. I could probably find a corn dog here. Not at a stadium or anything like that. We don't have them. But I don't know. Somewhere. I'm sure someone somewhere is stewing them. Sonic's pizza. No, we have pizza here, Santa. We do. I can confirm we do have pizza. Days, you'll be in Florida, is that correct? That is correct. Pizza, we have pizza. Hot dogs, we have hot dogs. That's because we have Taste. Five Guys and In and Out. Well, we have Five Guys. We don't have In and Out Burger. Are we saying In and Out Burger is something that's definitely worth a try? I have heard of In and Out Burger. People do rave about that. In and Out Burger is actually a good shout. In and Out Burger. Chick-fil-A. We don't... I think they've got a few Chick-fil-A's over here, but I've never been there. Is it like a KFC type situation? Shake Shack. Go to Raising Cane's. What's Raising Cane's? What's that? What is it? What's Raising Cane's? Raising Cane. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. Raising Cane's is a fast food chain. I've never heard of them. Raising Cane's. Craveable chicken finger meals. Looks nice. Is there, like... I suppose what I'm saying is there food... Rather than, like, go to McDonald's, go to KFC, go to these restaurants, is there, like, food like corn dogs or... I don't know. It's hard because I don't know what else... I don't know what you do in America that we don't have. Raising Cane's. Do you have Whataburger? No. Seafood Mike's Buffet. Seafood Mike's Buffet. Five Guys, In and Out in the same sentence. Cracker Barrel. Calling Olive Garden an Italian restaurant is a crime. In and Out is goated. There is no In and Out in Florida. God damn! Oh, that was the only other thing I'd written down. There's no In and Out burgers in for why? Why is there no In and Out burgers in Florida? Are we sure? The West Coast burger chain has no plans for Florida right now. What? Why not? The flip. Oh, guys, I only had two things written down and I can't have one. I'm back down to corn dogs now. Oh. Life giveth with one hand and taketh away with the other. Is there any of them Raising Cane's in Florida? I bet there are only in others. What? Is there one? Oh, here's Roxanne. S'mores? Ah, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Try alligator. Do they sell it? Can you eat it? Can you eat alligator? In and Out is in California. Yeah, but sadly I won't be. Here's Kiana and Izzy. S'mores is a good shout, actually. We don't have them here, do we? Carl's Jr. Try alligator. I'd try it. That doesn't bother me at all. What did you turn into? You turned into babysitters. I'm writing s'mores. What's the best fast food then that's in America? Should we do a quick poll? Oh, hello. There's a big fight going on. We got Fallon. We've got Kalani. We could do a quick poll and put in like Chick-fil-A, Sonic's. Oh, I don't know. We need another couple, don't we? Let's do that. That could be a good idea. Oh no, I've just done a poll, but there's no question. Well, that's not good, is it? Guys, yes or no? That was the poll. 66% of people said yes. Good to know. Bestest. What is the bestest? Jasmine taking on Thea Hale next week. Sonic's, Chick-fil-A, Raising Cane's. Is that what it is? Raising Cane's? Chick-fil-A. Bonchon. Bonchon? What the hell's Bonchon? Super Sonic double bacon cheeseburger. Wendy's. Try Wendy's. Trick's coming out, man. Dave and Buster's. Oh god, there's so many I've never heard of. I think I've heard of Dave and Buster's. Isn't that like a Chuck E. Cheese type place? Up that chick. That chick. Up that chick. Up that chick. Here's Chick Willie. Publix. Publix. It's a stationary place, isn't it? A and Dub. A and Dub. A and Dub. A and Dub. Oh, Raising Cane's is great. Seafood boil. Dave and Buster's is fun. Yeah, but hasn't it got like a ball pit and whatever for kids? I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not 12. That trick. Whoop, that trick. I've got Sonic, Chick-fil-A, Raising Cane's, Popeye. Oh, I'll just put Popeye. Popeye. It's him. There we go. Busch Gardens is a theme park, isn't it? I've been there. It was good. Which of them do you reckon is the best? What is the best? I need something to replace my In-N-Out burger. Right, Noam Dar, Trick Williams. We got 8 minutes to go. Noam Dar versus Trick Williams. Barbecue chips, said Heel Santa. Barbecue chips. Sounds interesting. In-N-Out we can't do, unfortunately. IKEA meatballs. Johnny said Chick-fil-A, no question. Waffle House. Do you reckon Waffle House is that good? So far, I think I've got corn dog and s'mores, and then I will be interested in whoever wins the poll. Trick getting round the back of Noam Dar. Any food truck, said Rivi. Try a patty melt with fries. It's good. It's one of my favourites. A patty melt. A patty melt. A melt is like a toasty sandwich, isn't it? It's like 2 bits of bread with like cheese on. That kind of a thing. Here we go. We've got Trick going for the cover. But Noam gets his shoulders up. Trick grabbing Noam. Lash on the outside. Back elbow there by Noam. Looking for a guillotine. Guillotine by Noam. Funnel cake. Is that American? Funnel cake. Shaved ice. Publix is goated. Isn't Publix... Am I thinking of the wrong thing? I thought Publix was like stationery. Publix is... Oh, a supermarket. It's a supermarket. Oh, it's a pharmacy. So, what's that? Like a just grocery place. I like Walmart. I like Target. I like places where you can buy food and toys, because then I can look for figures. So that makes me happy. Trick over by the ropes. Noam Dar coming over. Kick coming in by Noam Dar. If you ever go to Utah, you go to Salt Lake City, you need to try Apollo Burger. That is the best. Well, there's no plans for Utah at the moment, my friend, but I will bear that in mind. Apollo Burger. Our fries are out of this world. We're seeing the security guards. It's time. They just knocked on the door and said to Carmelo, it is time. Kicks coming in by Noam. Daze, try Culver's. I've not heard of Culver's. Gumbo. I've heard of Gumbo. What's Gumbo? Gumbo. Is that like old Rambo? That's Rambo when he's lost his teeth. Gumbo is a stew. Oh, my dad would like that. My dad likes stews and all that kind of stuff. Gumbo. Oh, big shot there by Trick. I have heard of Gumbo. I'll write it down. Noam Dar rolls to the outside. Benny Hanna. Benny Hanna. Culver's is amazing. Okay, people are loving Culver's. Culver's getting a fair bit of love. Culver's. Culver's restaurant. Frozen custards? What's this? The war? Have we gone back to the 1940s? What are you on about? Frozen custard? What's this? Come into Culver's, young man. You can have some frozen custard. We've got some bread and butter pudding. And a little bit of treacle. Oh, you'll like the treacle. What the hell's this? I'm not lying. If you search Culver's, the first thing that comes up is frozen custard, butter burgers, and cheese curds. You're joking. What's this? Do they keep all their food in the pantry? We've got to use it up before the Germans get us. What is this? Fresh frozen custard? What are you on about? This is food. You have a go at us over here for having bad food. And you're dishing out frozen custard, trying to make it appetizing. This is a disgrace. Oh, unbelievable. You need to try it, says Edward. Wow. It seems like old folks' food. That's what it seems like to me. Guys, I'm young and hip. I'm cutting edge. I'm exciting. Daring. Do you know what I mean? I'm a go-getter. I'm a trendsetter. I'm not eating frozen custard. Do you know what I mean? When you look at me, you think youth, exciting, vibrant. That's what you think. You don't think frozen custard. You don't think, what was it? Cheese curd. You don't think curd. Nothing should curd. That's not a good word, is it? When's curd ever been a good word? Oh, the milk's curded. Oh, I don't want it then. It's gone off. Curds? Custard and curds? Don't know. I'm upset. It hasn't, the website hasn't sold it to me. Have you tried bar foods? Yeah, we've got bars. Like kamikaze nachos. Fried Oreos. Cheese curds are goat, said Dad Stuff. Maybe when Lancaster bombers were in the sky. Do you know, we've evolved past curds now, though. Do you know what I mean? We've got flavours like salted caramel now. I will keep an eye on Culver's, but I'm going to take some convincing. Big shot coming in there by Trick. Right, I think we're into the overrun now. Do you think it's weird I like to dip my Big Mac into ketchup? No, I think that's okay. That's okay. If you're going to say your milkshake, then I'd be concerned. But you know there's animals out there that do that. There's people that dip their burgers into the milkshakes. Because in their mind, they eat the burger, drink the milkshake anyway. So why not just... I'm telling you, the world is full of strange people. Yeah? That enjoy frozen custards. See that as a little Sunday treat. I'm sure it's lovely. I'm sure it's one of those where when you try it, you go, oh, this is delightful. Salt and shake crisps are mint, said Samoltz. For ice cream, you should try Stone or Ben & Jerry's. We got Ben & Jerry's. You should try Cold Stone. What, Cold Stone Austin Steve? Cold Stone Austin Steve, I love him. Oh, do you know that wrestler? Cold Stone Austin Steve, I love him. Shut up, Grandma. Eat your curds. Noam Dar is down. We've got Trick Williams going over. Whoop, that Trick is the chant of the crowds. Oh, Noam Dar jumps up into a DDT. Heel Santa said Jolly Ranchers. Yeah, we have had those before. They're like hard-boiled sweets, are they not? Like, we did have that. I don't think we still have them now, though. Noam Dar with an ankle lock. Jolly Ranchers are the best American candy. Yeah, Trick's trying to get over to the ropes. He gets dragged into the middle as Noam Dar goes down. I always love it when they do that. When they've got the ankle lock, that's good. But when they go down, I sort of feel like it's locked in then. I mean, it is extra locked. It's triple locked. But Trick still manages to get to the ropes. Referee comes over, tells him to break the holds. Tom said Five Guys isn't overpriced. They've got fresh produce. That's why it's expensive. Shut up, Grandma. Don't wake up again. Yeah. Suck on the curd, love. Suck on your curd. We went to Denny's when we first landed we went about 6 years ago. And when we got there, we were tired. We just wanted to get some food before we, went to where we were staying. And we just went to Denny's. That was okay. I feel like I got a little bit of the American diner experience by doing that, Lovely waitress came over and... You right there, Flower? Hi, yes. Thank you. Can we just get some pancakes and... Want some waffles? Should I have some a few waffles, please? No worries, sugar. That is no problem, Flower. Oh, thanks. You're lovely folk over there, aren't you? In all fairness, you do. You should see customer service over here. Jeez. We ain't figured it out yet. Oh, Oro Mensa popping up. Big shot there by... Oh, here we go. Lash Legend is like, you get over here. Oh, here we go, man. Oh, is she going to slap him? I feel like, what's this? Yeah, she went for a slap. Yeah, no, don't you? Oh. German suplex there by Noam. No, back elbow by Noam. Down goes Trick. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Trick. Should I get over it? Lash. Lash, 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 yeah? Lash. Metaphor. Before everything. Noam Dar back in the corner, charges over. Big knee by Trick. 1, 2, 3. Trick Williams wins. Trick Williams wins. Lash never got her kiss. That chick. Carmelo's got to be on his way out now, hasn't he? Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Trick gets the win over Noam Dar. That chick. Intoxicated Drum, shout out to you. I just got to get my laptop and then watch one last match. I've seen JC do her little cam time. Intoxicated Drums. Oh, here's Trick. Hayes. This is personal. We don't gotta wait, Hayes. Get your punk ass out here right now. We don't gotta wait. Here's the security. So the 4 security guards are making their way down. Trick's in the ring. Are they going to surround? They're surrounding the ring. They're jumping up on the edge of the ring. Here's Carmelo. Carmelo is making his way out. He's got a black jacket on. He's got a black hood up. Oh, it's not Carmelo. Carmelo is one of the security guards. He jumps into the ring, nails Trick from behind. Ah, well played. Well played. Carmelo came out in the entranceway, but it wasn't Carmelo. Carmelo, you double-crossed me. I whooped that Trick. So the security guards are holding Trick. Carmelo unloading on Trick. Knee strike there by Carmelo. Trick goes down. Carmelo Hayes stares at Trick. That was good. That was done really well. That was done really well. Have you tried Krispy Kreme? Yes, we do have Krispy Kreme. Daze, trust me, as a high school teacher, the youths love Culver's and Chick-fil-A. They especially love the cheese curds. Says, I don't know what's going on. The youths they are losing their minds for the cheese curds. It's all they'll eat. They won't eat anything else. All they do is listen to their Fats Domino music. They listen to Fats Domino. They absolutely love their classic movies from the 1950s. They listen to a little bit of Little Richard. They're crazy on Little Richard. They used to love Taylor Swift, but now they're on Little Richards. Love Little Richards. They love Bo Diddley. Don't they, eh? Love a bit of Bo Diddley. They love Fats Domino. Absolutely love it. Go down to the dance hall. Do a little bit of the bop. Eh? Bop away. And then just before they go home, they go to Culver's and they get their cheese curds. I want to live that life now. I want to live that life. Right. Let's go over to... NXT is a 10 this week, says Nathan. Oh, I was about to write down the scores of the match, but actually it's telling me which one, which restaurant I need to go to. Apparently it's Chick-fil-A. I'm sorry, Wrestle with Andy, but you've got very poor taste, because Raising Cane's last. Is it a conspiracy because you're Scottish? It seems that way. It seems that way. Chick-fil-A got 39, but can I just say, this poll got more votes than some matches that we did tonight. What's going on? Hey? What do you think we're actually here for? Do you think we're here for this nonsense? Or are we here to review the show? Right, Chick-fil-A 39%, Popeyes 31%, Sonic's 18%, Raising Cane's 10%. So Chick-fil-A is the clear winner. I will keep an eye. This is where you tell me there's no Chick-fil-A's in Florida now. But I will keep an eye out for Chick-fil-A when I am over in America. I've added it to the list. Right, let's get a poll up. What do you score NXT? So NXT this week, 19th, 24. Do you think that it was all-time? Do you think it was great? Do you think it was good? Do you think it was okay? Or do you think it was bad? If you want to vote for that, you can vote for that right now. Over on the second channel, Wrestling Daze clips. If you go over there, you can vote for that right now. Let me see if I can just get back to the chat. I'll put a link in the chat as well. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And now we'll do a poll over here as to what did you think about the main events. What did you score? What did you score the NXT main event? What do you think about that main event? All time. Great. Good, okay. Bad. Right, we'll get a few more final thoughts before we run away, and I'll start working on Unseen. William said it's a 595, but Kian says 8. Carmen Live said this Saturday I might go to St. Mary's in Indiana to see Backbreaker wrestling. I like to see them as well as AR Dub Pro and Fire Pro wrestling. Dro says 8. Rivy said no cap. Royal Farms fried chicken slaps. Is that one that you have at home, Royal Farms, or is that another outlet? Royal Farms. Oh no, it's a place. It's a magical place. Royal Farms. World famous. Oh, what's that? It's weird, isn't it? What's that? That's a place that you kind of... What's that? Look at this. Real fresh. Is this a... It looks like a garage. Do you know what I mean? Real fast. Grab and go. It's not the kind of place you take a date. Where are you taking me? Royal Farms. There, that's my date there. Have whatever you want, love. Whatever you want. No, not all that. Put that back. You're not having all that. Cheese curls. Not curds. Curls. Cheese curls. Could go for that. There's a potato being killed. Real fresh. Well, I don't know. I feel like you lot are taking me to some very strange places. But maybe if I need a snack on the go, maybe Royal Farms. Have you tried gummies? We've got gummies, if that's what they are. Same thing here in the UK. Hogan's got a shop. Yeah, I've been to that. gummies. Yeah, I think your gummies are the kind of gummies we have as well. I vote Benny Hanna Smash. Oh, that's something I need, actually. We do those in the UK, but I've never had one. A smash burger. That's where they take the patty and they just absolutely mess it up. Mess it up, destroy its dreams, just ground it into the ground. Grind it into the ground. You could ground it into the ground as well, I suppose. But I've never had one. We do them over here, so I could just wait to have one over here. But I don't know. I think if I get the option to have a smash burger, I might go for that as well whilst I'm over there. Because Sean said, what do you rate NXT tonight? Tricky, to be honest. I thought it started pretty strong. I enjoyed the open. I loved the Dijak segment. I thought the first match was pretty fun. I thought the Heritage Cup match was pretty fun. It's always great to see Trick Williams. I feel like it was not a bad show. I'd say maybe one of the better NXTs. But that's a low bar. NXT has not been great this year. So I'd say it's a low bar to say it's one of the better ones we've had in recent weeks. So I don't know. I'm thinking 6, 7, 5, maybe a 7. Did anything massively progress? I mean, I feel like we got some announcements of matches. I think we knew Roxanne Lyra was going to happen. We just got the match basically announced. I suppose we got a bit more on the JC Thea story because they interfered in Riley's match. So we got a little bit more there. Few teams qualified for that triple threat. Carmelo attacking Trick at the end was good. Was there any stories that really progressed? I don't know, you know. It was solid. It was a fine offering. I would say there is no reason why you can't deliver an episode of that quality every week. Doesn't feel out the ordinary, didn't feel like anything special, but didn't feel a chore to watch either. So for me, my gut is saying like 6, 7, 5, maybe a 7. But I wouldn't really want to go much higher than that because I've seen way better episodes. But then I have also seen worse episodes this year. In fact, we always tend to have a look at them. But if we have a look at how NXT is scoring, some people might be surprised to see how the community has been scoring NXTs this year. And I don't think the community's been wrong. To be honest, this is not a criticism of the community. But if we go over, this is all the matches. If we go over to the shows, that's where I think is it yesterday's Raw is currently. Look at all this down here. NXT, 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 NXT. So outside of the odd Raw and SmackDown, and really what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take those 6 shows out. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You've got 10 NXTs all around this bottom part of the rankings. These don't even count because they were best of, so you can ignore them. The bottom 3 shows are all NXTs from this year. That's the bottom 3. And then you got another cluster of 3 shows from this year just above. So NXT really has not been enjoying a great year this year in comparison to Raw and SmackDown. But I would say this was one of their better offerings personally. I mean, I didn't, I was not bored during this show. I mean, we have had some NXTs. There's one, look, from the 20. Where have we got last week's NXT in here? Last week's NXT would have been what, the 13th? Have I put that one in yet? 313. Let's have a look. 313. Oh, 312. That'll be it, won't it? Be that one. 312. It was good 89. Good 89. Let's select all. That's about here. There, that one. That's where last week was. Ooh, so that was last week. Even that ain't great, is it? I don't know. I think if I was to say, where does this go? I'd go here. About there. I'm around this sort of range here, I think. In comparison to the shows we've had this year. But I do find the community tends to be a bit more positive than me, actually. So I reckon it could be going up here. I mean, I said in the thing, I wouldn't have had yesterday's Raw here. I think that's really high. I would have had it down here. I'd have had, I think yesterday's Raw was better than tonight's NXT. So I would have had yesterday's Raw around here. I'd have had NXT around here. But instead, NXT, Raw's gone there. So I wonder if NXT will end up about here. Or maybe it'll go about here. Don't know. We ain't got long to find out, have we? We'll find out. We'll see what you lot. If you want to vote and make your thoughts known, then go over to the second channel, Wrestling Daze Clips. You can vote over there and make your feelings known. Keep getting in your votes for the main event because we're going to wrap that up in a second. It's already 20 past. Let's get a few comments and then we'll run away. Carmen said you should try Cracker Barrel. It is a store and restaurant, and I give NXT an 8. Have you tried marshmallows? We do have marshmallows, my friend. Would you ever do line dancing, said Kyle. It's not something that I'm eager to do, to be honest. I do like country music, but the line dancing element of it is not something that's ever really appealed. That is very, very niche here. Very, very niche. You won't find like many line dancing places, but you will be able to find the odd line dancing class. But it's not something that people tend to do. So not something really. It's, I suppose the best way of wording it is it's not my culture. You know, that's not what we have over here. So it's not something that I've ever thought of doing. Maybe if I grew up in Texas, maybe it would be a bit more popular, a bit more accessible, a bit more part of the culture. But I mean, over here we just tend to, you know, really rely on knife crime and mugging old people rather than, you know, line dancing. That's what we're into, that a lot more over here. Knife crime is very popular. Gigamesh said, dang it, all this food, it makes me wish I hadn't just eaten 2 beef fajita tacos 1 to 2 hours ago. Well, I mean, that still sounds nice, buds. It sounds like you're still winning there. But thoughts on Sean Spears' gimmick? Not a big fan. I enjoyed him as Ty Dillinger when he had the 10 thing and his character was a bit more serious. I've not really been enjoying this like super serious character, although there was an image that he shared of him being the Reaper and he had a mask and he had the hood up and everything. He was kind of stood there and I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that is kind of cool with the mask and the Reaper name. But I still see Ty Dillinger. It's hard for me to look at him and see this badass. I don't believe it. I'm not buying it. I don't believe that he is this nasty. It feels a bit forced. It feels like a gimmick that doesn't quite fit. Do you know what I mean? It'd like be trying to make me like some sort of jacked up beach bodybuilder. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to work. It's not going to fit. No one's going to buy it. And I kind of feel like this Sean Spears gimmick feels the same to me. I'm just not buying it. I'm not into it. I'm not invested in it. So I don't know if it'll grow. I don't know if he'll get more comfortable with it. I don't know if the presentation will slightly change. But or if we just abandon it and we try something else eventually. But yeah, at the moment, you know, they had an idea, they're trying it. It's a bit clunky for me. It's not quite working for me. I don't feel emotionally connected to it. I don't really care for it. I do like the image, though. There was one image they put out of him, hood up, head down. He had a chair in his hand, and it said the Reaper of NXT. And I was like, oh, maybe there is something in that. Maybe there is something. But I don't know. It's not grabbed me. It's not grabbed me. I wish Lash had kissed Trick again. We all do. We're just hopeless romantics on this channel. We're just a community of lovely romantics, aren't we? But it didn't happen. Instead, she tried to use her womanly charms. Like most of them. You can't trust them, man. She tried to use her womanly charms to try and fool him and trick him. And she tried to trick. And it didn't work. Daze, I'm trying to get you the hookup. I've just tagged you on X, said Dad Stuff. You're trying to get me the hookup? What does that mean? Oh, don't you try getting me, like, curds or something. Culvers. Oh, what's this? My friend Wrestling Daze is coming to America from the UK and he wants to try something uniquely American. Despite the many suggestions for him to try Culver's cheese curds, he is a bit hesitant. A bit hesitant. Dude, I compared it to war food. What can we do to get the man some free cheese curds and win him over? Dudes, I don't need your old person face. I'm young and hip. Why won't no one believe that I'm young and hip? What's this about? Eh? What's this about? I'm young and hip. Don't need your cheese curds. I appreciate you trying to fix me up, though. I'm going to respond to it. I'm going to say, dudes, I'm young and hip. Keep your cheese curds. I was going to say, stick your cheese curds. Old timer. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you don't like that, do you, eh? Boom. Hey, look, the NXT Good Noodles. Yay. The Good Noodles are out. Ah. Ava, here you go. Whirlwind of a week. The Good Noodles. If you've not seen this, someone, I don't even know who, but someone has decided to create this Good Noodles chart where you get stars and you lose stars. Where's Tatum? There she is. She's the best noodle. She's got all the stars. Let's have a look. What's big in it? Stop being so big. Bit to screen. Here we go. What's oh my god, look at all this. Oh my god. So, oh god, they've included Level Up. Tatum fought against Roxanne, who injured her best friend. A very noble gesture. It earned her another star. Roxanne stays at 0 stars for attacks uncalled for against Lyra and Tatum. Despite being hurt, Lyra demanded a match against Roxanne, showing tenacity. Hang on. This person's old enough to know the word tenacity. It's a big word. Lyra earns a star. Blair loses a star for ambushing Soul after her match. Thea apologized to Riley for the date they had, which takes courage and earns Thea half a star. JC and Jasmine distracted Chase U and it cost Riley a chance at winning the Heritage Cup, leading to both losing a star. Kiana and Izzy lose a star for attacking Kalani last week. Lash loses half a star for attempting to cost Trick Williams in his match against Noam Dar. Half a star? Because she tried to smooch on him. There's the Good Noodles. Tatum's the best noodle. Then Thea is the next best noodle. No stars for Roxanne. I've got to think that's going to bother her. No stars for JC. No stars for Jasmine. Brinley's doing all right. You know that Brinley wants to be a good noodle. She definitely wants to be a good noodle. So I would imagine Brinley's going to really target this as seeing if she can show some improvement here. So that's the current breakdown of the Good Noodles. If you haven't seen the Good Noodle thing, the NXT stars love it. They've commented on it. We've spoke about it in Unseen. Like Tatum's commented on it. Thea's commented on it. Ava's commented on it. It really caught their attention last week. And Ava was the one that said, please do this every week. So I'm telling you, the NXT locker room will be keeping an eye on the good noodles. It's the new Dave Meltzer. It is the new Dave Meltzer. So good noodles. There we go. Oh, look at that from Brady. Can you spot Joe Gacy? Bum, bum, bum. There he was. Look in the background. Being a little sneaky sneakster. What a sneaky sneakster. Listen, we could stay and chat all night long. Dijak's responded, did he? Oh, he's good, man. Where is he? It's good. It's good. It's good. Let's go. Look at this. I said, hey, WWE shop, why can I not purchase an at Dijak shirt? Y'all doing my man dirty, right? WWE shop said, hey, thanks for reaching out. We are working hard to add new merch to our site. Feel free to send me a DM using the link below. I'd be happy to help you. Meet me there. Hang on, Charlie. Why are you hitting on me, Charlie? What's going on? What's this? Being hit on by flipping WWE shop. What's this? Dijak responded 36 minutes ago. Make me a shirt that says ratio if you want to make $1 billion. He would make $1 billion, wouldn't it? Make me a shirt that says ratio if you want to make $1 billion. Crispy Wrestling said I'd buy that so fast. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And whilst all that was playing out, we were talking about cheese curds. This is the greatest channel. It's the best. Right, we're done. I'm going to run away because I need to work on Unseen. I might include that from Dojo. Appreciate people joining us. Appreciate all the supports. Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? It's good response. He's so good. He is so good. Right, yes, we are not around tomorrow for live streams, but we will have an Unseen tonight, Unseen tomorrow, Unseen on Thursday. I am going to be doing some research for UFC because Thug Rose is fighting this weekend. Definitely want to watch that. And of course, wrestling wise, on Friday we have got Cody and Roman face to face. It's going to be good. Have a great evening wherever you are. Thanks a lot for the support, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.